Welcome back to another episode of the Weekly DLC. I'm one of your hosts, Kurosh, joined always by my co-host, Danny Vargas.
Uber.
And Danny Jang.
Lift.
And Daniel Jang.
Lift. Sorry, mine's push to talk, I forgot.
Oh, goddamn. If you're not familiar with what we do, we come each and every week to podcasting services of your choice. We come from quarantine areas of our choice, and we talk about nerdy stuff usually, pop culture, games, movies, comics, everything in between. We hope you have an enjoyable time while watching or listening or watching our episodes. We're on Spotify, podcast services like iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, all those things, and SoundCloud. And on video, we're on YouTube. If you're familiar with the last, I don't know, 10 episodes at least, we've been quarantined, recording through video game streams. And then, speaking of streams, we also will stream it now. So if you want to find us, just look for us on Twitch at the Weekly DLC. And so this is episode 175. We are back. We took a 1-week hiatus due to some concerning matters, which we'll get into. But let's start off. How's you guys' week been?
It's been horrible. It's just been getting better for me. So in case it'll be a topic, but I had COVID-19 and was struggling to stay with it, I guess. Yeah.
Damn.
But
were you pretty incapacitated during the whole time?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, even now, like I kind of don't have the urge to play anything. I've been just watching streams. I've been wanting to play Final Fantasy since you've told me like the difference in what of the original and what you've seen on this new one, this remake. But I just haven't had the urge. Like I popped it up, I turned on my PlayStation and I just looked at what was available and I was just like,
Yeah.
I haven't had the urge to want to watch anything either. I literally haven't done much. I haven't seen anything. I haven't watched any anime. I haven't played any games.
I just want to add, when we first messaged you and you didn't respond, I was like, holy shit. Like, I was like super worried. And then like on Monday when I texted you, the group text, I was like, wait, he didn't respond right away. I was like, what the fuck, dude? I was like super worried, man.
I was starting to get worried.
So there is a lot of people trying to contact me and I didn't have the energy to respond to everyone. And I didn't want to like half-ass like, oh, I'm good or something. So
you just had to take a picture of a nipple and send it. I mean, okay, cool.
Free the nipple. No, there was actually quite a few people I didn't respond to, and then like I slowly got back to them.
Yeah, I figured if I didn't want to check in too often because I was worried that it would just become obnoxious. She's like, this is because like you're already kind of fatigued and you're like, I gotta keep reporting in. So I'm imagining
the fatigue, man. I don't know, like that overtook me. I don't know what it was. Like, I think it's just the idea. Like I'm stuck in my room. I literally haven't left my room in 2 weeks.
Damn.
I've put on a mask. I've put on like something protective so that I can go from my room to the restroom if I need to go to the restroom, and then back again. And if I need any type of liquids like water or drink or something or food, it gets left on the front of my door. But yeah, like it's just it's a weird like feeling like being trapped somewhere and not. I mean, I could technically leave. I could leave. I could walk out the door. I could get in my car and drive off somewhere. But that's putting other people, in harm's way. So it's something that you just got to deal with. And
I'm glad you're feeling better.
Yeah, dude, so much better. So much better. Like, at this point, I feel like I could go back to work or be like a normal citizen of society, I guess.
But you don't want to go back to work.
Well, I mean, for now, because I'm worried that I'm still contagious. I don't know how and when, it's removed out of my system. So I gotta get checked up again to make sure that I'm not contagious or anything. But yeah, other than that, I'm alive and kicking. I'm doing well. So hopefully I can start getting back into, cause like I mean, Last of Us 2 is gonna
Tonight?
get released tonight,
Like,
and I honestly don't have the will to play it right now. For some
do you
reason.
feel like, do you feel like, damn, like I came close? Like, do you have
I
a different
really do
outlook
think
in
so.
life, pretty much? Or,
As of right now, yeah, but it's still like, it's fresh. I think like I think I could easily go back to normal and completely forget about this. But yeah, I do think I was very close, and as of right now, a different outlook. I'm pretty sure I've lost a lot of weight. I think I was 250 plus before. I'm at like 230 or 232 or
Damn.
something like that right now. Yeah. So I've lost a lot of weight because of this. Through just I guess I don't even know how. Like, obviously, like, well, I guess eating. I didn't have an urge to eat for a long time, but yeah. But we can get more on that. I mean, how are you doing, Jang? How was your week?
Yo, Jang, what have you been?
I've been fucking it. So, one of my YouTube videos, the Last of Us reaction has just been it's being recommended to people. And
Is this the original?
this is The Last of Us 2 at the PlayStation Experience, the reaction video I made.
I didn't know you had one. Okay.
Okay, so it's about to hit 1 million views.
Oh
damn.
shit.
The thing is, like, I've been like fucking deleting comments, dude. I know the spoilers, like,
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
fucking bad, like, because I get notified and it'll say what the spoiler is. But I mean, it's like, it's the spoiler that I read before.
So are you doing it for the greater good so other people don't read it?
Yeah, but now I just don't care anymore. Like, I stopped doing
I
it.
think it becomes like, cause that's a lot. Like, that's if you're talking about 1 million views, and let's say like even a quarter of that, like that's 250,000 comments.
Yeah.
Like that you gotta sift through. It's insane.
Yeah,
That's a lot
yeah.
of work.
It's, I mean, I'm still gonna play it. It's not gonna dampen it might dampen some of my experience, but I have faith in Naughty Dog. But yeah, I haven't been doing much. Streaming. What was I Slate Aspire. I've been waiting for Last of Us. I called my GameStop today to see if they were gonna like release it at like whatever. I think they close at 8, and they said no, you have to come back at noon tomorrow. And I felt like, the guy who played Data in Independence Day.
Yeah.
Release me. Release me. I'm like, dude, this sucks. And this is why, like, digital is better, like, because you get it at 9 o'clock. And
Yeah, but I think also, I mean, specifically GameStop isn't in such a good spot right now.
yeah, so I've been waiting for The Last of Us. I'm gonna try to beat it in a week. I mean, I think I'll beat it in 4 days or 3 days.
I think I'll watch you. I haven't watched anyone. I mean, like right now, like I know there's already streamers that got it like super early. There's a guy I watched called I've already forgotten his name, but he
Baru?
he was allowed to no, it's Ko. I can't remember his whole name. I don't know why.
Cocal.
It's CAHH, I think is how you say his name.
Oh, okay.
And he like specifically, like in this thing, he thanks PlayStation for giving it to him early and allowing him to stream it early. And I didn't watch him, but I was like, damn, this guy's getting a lot of views because he got this super early and is allowed.
Timing is
Dude,
important.
XQC right now is streaming it with 56K. Plus
He's been
views.
streaming it for like a long ass time. It's like he's been at it at like 8 to 10 hours, I think now.
I forgot. On Slate Aspire, I beat the fucking heart. That shit.
I saw that.
Holy fucking shit, dude. Like, so I had a viewer came in, a new viewer, and he was telling me how to play. I've been playing that game wrong the whole fucking time. At 300 hours, dude. 300 hours in, I've been playing it wrong the whole time. Like, he was doing things that it didn't make sense to me. I'm like,
yeah.
And then when I looked at it, I'm like, oh, that makes fucking sense, dude. Tier lists
Like
are
how to
shit.
use a card.
Tier lists are shit, dude.
I mean, I wanted to say that to you, but like you were so into like tier lists, it's like it doesn't matter what I say. You're gonna be like, this card's number one. I'm gonna use this card.
Like you said, harder the cards, dude. No, it's really about synergy. Like, so the game wants you
Yeah.
to play a certain way, and you have to like
Mhm.
pick the cards and relics that'll force that hand. So I realized that, and I was like, "Holy fucking shit! It makes fucking sense now."
It's like, from what I understand, maybe this is what you're saying is, there's like let's say 4 cards within a character's set that like synergize really well.
Yeah.
What you want to do is maximize on those and
Yes.
reduce the clutter of everything else.
Yes.
And just have that cycle just
Yes.
constant.
And
No,
also,
what he's saying is part
also,
of the cards.
he told me to avoid elites. Well, I mean, avoid it in the first act. And I was like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "That makes fucking sense." He's like, "Elites will fuck you up, dude." He's like, "You don't want to fight elites in the first act. Try to do the least amount of elites, and then on the second and third act, you can pick them up." I was like, "That makes fucking sense." He's because after an elite fight, you get fucked up. Like, I was like,
Yeah.
it makes
Yeah.
fucking
I
sense.
think that's where challenges come in though. Like, you know, if you want to do like as many elites as possible from beginning to end or whatever, but that's after you've mastered. Not like I mean, not mastered the game, but you know, played it enough. The 350 hours, because 300 is enough apparently.
Yeah, and that guy had like, I think he said he had 2,500 hours in the game. I was,
Whew.
I was like,
Hey, good thing it's on mobile now, dude. Fuck.
"Nah, I'm not picking it up, dude. Fuck that, dude. I'm still unlocking shit on the PC. It's annoying. I'm
I mean, you picked
no
it
more.
up what twice? I think.
No
you have
more,
it
dude.
on Switch and PC.
No more, dude. Yeah, that's about it.
stupid.
Cool. Before I talk about anything else, I want to show you guys my island.
Okay.
So I've been working towards something. Tomorrow is when I'm going to do it. A bunch of my coworkers and I
Is that
usually go to Ren Fair.
why
Yeah.
you're dressed up as Willy Wonka?
Yeah. Exactly what I'm just. So, Ren Fair got canceled like everything else this year, and so I was like, oh, I saw this really cool idea online where it was like making Ren Fair on their island. So I decided to try to replicate it. So first, you go over here. There's a ticket booth.
Okay.
You get your tickets. This is some of the money. I don't know if this is what you were referring to earlier. So you get your ticket like you're going to Ren Fair, and then you come back over here, and you go past all this shit, and then once you get up top here is where it starts. So now you're in Ren Fair. So you come over here, it's like all the vendors, everything, jukebox.
Damn.
You got the steampunk.
You got your armory outfit, you know, everything, dressing. Floral. You got your carpentry. We'll go back down to the bottom right in a second. You got your porta potties over here.
Definitely.
Wait,
need that.
so did you get rid of the wrestling thing?
No, I'll show you that after.
Oh, Coliseum.
It's part of the new Red Fair.
And then you got your food court over here. You got your turkey legs and your drinks,
The new world order.
and then all these tables.
Where's the turkey leg?
It's being prepared. And then over here you got your tarot cards, your fortune readings. And then over here,
Is that a custom background?
yeah.
That's really good.
And then I got this little like theater play area up top here. This is the top.
Wow.
This is the maximum, the furthest up it goes.
Tiger up in this bitch.
So then if we go back down, follow me back. This is taking me so long. I've been fatigued with this game.
Hell yeah, dude. I
So
don't
then-
think I could. I couldn't do it myself.
So then I got the axe throwing over here, blacksmith,
All
wood
different
shop,
weapons.
Ooh. Let me taste some of that soup.
some jousting, and then
With fishing rods.
I got the stocks, and that's it. So that's my run for everything. So I invited a bunch of my coworkers. We're gonna do like a Zoom call.
And slight flex down here.
Yeah, landing on the flower.
Or
what do I
big
want?
big
Oh no!
flex.
So did you guys already? Did you guys grab a blue flower?
Yeah.
I never grabbed one, but I'm fine.
Okay. I got another. Well, this isn't. I didn't earn these, but one of my friends got 5-star, and they watered my black flowers.
Nice.
Ooh. Wait, someone got a sturgeon, dude. What the? Wait, are you preparing for space?
Yeah.
Space.
Oh, this is the satellite you were talking about, right?
I've been trying to get all this fucking space recipes.
Space Expo.
There are way too many wands. There, like every time I go to Celeste, it's like to 18th wand. So come with me back up here. I want to show you the. This is a separate attraction, but I'm like, I don't want to do it like at a different time.
I don't want to remove it.
Yeah, there's no fucking way. So come back up to the porta potties,
Ooh, gummies?
Goomies, and then here we go. We got the beginnings of WrestleMania. It's almost done. I just need to add some more chairs and a couple of things to the entrance. But you got your ramp, your seats.
Hell in a Cell?
Oh, dude, I could totally do it. I just gotta get prison. The prison bars.
Coffin? Undertaker?
A casket match, yes. Oh my god. Okay, so that's my island right now.
I wanted to see The Fiend.
That's so much work, because then like either you leave it or you put it back, like to.
So what I've decided is, after this Ren Fair thing, like I haven't really worked towards anything since I've set this up. I've just been like, I'll do my daily stuff and then I'll check in. I've just been kind of like checked out. But I'm excited to host the event. So I'm gonna finish up the Coliseum, but then my Ren Fair thing I'm gonna leave it for the most part, probably.
Yeah.
Until I think maybe around October. I want to make like a Halloween-y thing. I've already seen stuff where people have made their home like a castle.
Halloween is lit, dude. The fucking costumes that they have in the game. It's really,
I'm stoked.
It's really cool. It's my favorite season.
So I'm pretty stoked for that. But yeah, so I'm ready to do that. I've been playing. So Destiny had their new season release, and with
Season
it they
of the Worthy? No.
season arrival.
That's
So
right.
it's like those triangle ships that they've been like teasing are finally like starting to arrive. And you're learning, and they teased whatever their fall expansion is going to be, which looked pretty dope. And then they were like, oh, we got the next 3 years of Destiny like set out. They're not going to do a Destiny 3. They're probably going to try and keep this Destiny going, and maybe change the title so it's like sort of like World of Warcraft where it's just ongoing.
Yeah.
But I kind of like, I've not been playing Destiny for so long, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna dive back in. And there was this fucking cheese that was like, they made this thing where it's like you gotta rank your power up again, but it's so tedious. But some people found out that if you just leave your character in a certain game type, it auto ends every 30 seconds, and it's short enough where it doesn't count you as inactive, and it re-queues you up for another one of that activity. And every time your character goes to that mode, you auto get like
A higher light.
like engrams or loot, pretty much.
Okay.
That was also broken. So you were, instead of going up like 1 power, you were going like 2 or 3 for every one of those.
Oh wow.
So I would leave my computer on overnight and just let it sit there, and I came back and I was like 15 light higher.
Max out. Oh, that's funny.
I'm gonna call Bungie.
Call Jean-Claude Van Damme, call Bungie. They can't catch me, dude.
You're from the future.
too
I mean,
powerful now.
you had the mask. You're from the future.
Yeah. It got so bad where like the 2 top streamers literally left their game on that when they were like asleep to like draw attention to it. They're like, if Bungie doesn't fix this is ridiculous.
Supposedly, but that's free views.
Yeah, but it was free views, and it was also them like trolling the community because people were like, "What? You guys have done glitches, and now you're calling everyone like, shitty?" So anyway, that was Destiny. I've been playing that a bit more lately. I was there. So with the new stuff coming in the fall, after the current season, they're closing. They're putting away certain planets. They're like, these planets won't be accessible temporarily. Like we don't know till when they'll just be put away into a vault.
Is Mercury one of them? Because that place is so dead.
It's gonna be the planets that are gonna be gone.
I know they revamped some. Like the moon has like new stuff.
The moon is back. The 2 new ones are gonna be the Cosmodrome, which is like parts of Earth, and Europa, which is a moon. They're gonna put away like Io, like a couple of the planets where there currently are a bunch of raids, like the Leviathan. And I was like, I need to do these raids. If I don't do them now, I'm never gonna do them. Last weekend, I did like 8 raids.
Oh wow!
I was joining LFG groups left and right. I was like, I literally, people were like, know what to do, and I was BSing my way through that.
Right, right.
And luckily, they were chill enough where I was like, hey, I'm a little rusty, and I was up front somewhat with them.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm familiar, but I'm a little rusty. So if you don't mind, like, reminding me a few things, they're like, yeah, totally. And I was playing it like I was doing the Jang style of napping, which was
98?
4 hours, and then like I'd be up till 4
God damn,
a.m.
my sleep
Oh
schedule's
my-
fucked, man.
Dude, mine this week has been horrible.
Dude, I sleep at
I-
3 every fucking
Oh,
night.
Jesus.
Gotta wake up at like 8 and then I take a nap after I finish work. It's
Yeah,
fucked. It's fucked.
If I take a nap right after work, I'm fine. But if I take a nap at like 7, I did one on Tuesday. No, on Tuesday I think. I took a nap at 7. I woke up at 10:30, and immediately I was like, "What have I done?"
You time traveled.
In real life.
And so I'm playing when I'm doing these LFGs. I'm playing with people from India and from the UK and from Australia, and it's like it's a different experience. Like the general
Because
attitude.
they're chill compared to
Bush,
fucking
bush,
being
bush, bush.
assholes.
Yeah, they're pretty chill overall. So that's been fun. For the Switch, I've been playing the new Pokemon expansion,
Ooh,
Isle of Armor.
Yeah, yeah.
good.
It's fun.
It's more of the same, I feel like. I watch A Drive, I think is the guy, he streams.
Yeah,
and
he's
literally
alright.
doing 12 hours his own shift, and then he has someone come on like literally into his house
Yeah.
and stream another 12 hours of their own content, but it's still Pokemon related.
On
And I'm like, I don't see it different. Like, I literally didn't even realize he's streaming the Isle stuff compared to regular Pokemon.
yeah, they didn't really like introduce any new mechanics or anything. It was more of the same. It's like here's another area to explore, and
Yeah.
also here's new Pokemon that weren't in this
Mm-hmm.
in this Pokedex that we're adding, which were
Yeah.
some old ones that people were like happy to see back because there's that whole Dex gate shit, whatever you want to call it.
That one was back.
Yeah. But I was like, I want to try and like, I've been trying to get all of them, so I've just been like doing the wild areas and trying to catch shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been playing that. Trying to think of what else. I think that's.
Shows, movies. Oh, I've been reading Trevor Noah's book.
Oh, how is
It's,
it?
it's pretty good. It's more, it's like serious and funny at the same time. It's both.
Okay.
I feel like he's always been that way. He's always had like
It's got a good balance.
comedy to the seriousness and topic.
We've been watching the Studio Ghibli films. So we've watched My Neighbor no, the first one was
Kiki's Delivery.
Nausicaa.
what?
Nausicaa?
Nausicaa.
No, it wasn't Nausicaa. Fuck. which
Kiki's
one was it?
Delivery
Castle in the
Service.
Sky.
Castle in the Sky was the first one.
Yeah. I've been
That's the
doing
one with the like that round robot,
So,
right?
I've been-
Yeah.
I've been doing a watch party thing, and I've only done Castle in the Sky on Twitch.
What'd you think of it?
It was alright. It was okay. It wasn't like the
Yeah.
animation's good, but it was okay.
I mean,
like,
it's one of his earlier works.
it
or
was
like,
literally the first one.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like, it was nice to go back to that one. Then it was My Neighbor Totoro,
Okay.
and that was also a nice one to go back to. It definitely had like that kid feel. And we were gonna start Kiki, but I fell asleep because I was tired because of my sleep schedule being all fucked up. So
One of my
Kiki-
favorites.
Kiki is next. We're not gonna watch Grave of the Firefly.
Yeah, don't recommend it. Trust me.
I've seen that. All I need to see.
It's so fucked up. Oh my god.
It's like if My Neighbor Totoro was depressing.
There's no way to watch it and obviously just be like, oh, that was a good experience. It's just not. No, it just doesn't work that way.
No. So I think that's mostly what I've been up to. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, I was watching a stream. I was gonna ask you, Vargas. It was not Asmongold. It was Svan.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he was talking about like recent controversies going on with WoW Classic, and like he pulled up a video. He was like, "I want to see what Asmongold,
Yeah.
how he had like a 20-minute video that he was agreeing or disagreeing with points of like this whole like botting that happens in WoW Classic, and how it's ruining WoW Classic, and how it was just all this stuff of like Blizzard doesn't care anymore, and like the sanctity of the game is leaving, and I was like, what the fuck? What is going on? Is this big, or is this new, or is this the same shit?
It's the same shit. I mean, like the game itself is so big for Blizzard. You know, they have their retail version, which is technically like the main, like that is the game, is the retail version. What, like, it's a up to date point, and then they've released this WoW Classic, and of course they're not going to put anywhere as many resources as they have towards Classic. So yeah, there's a lot of like what was original, which is botting or like people kind of taking advantage of like AFKing type stuff. But dude, these guys are on a whole nother level, dude. I can't even.
Right.
So what he wants to do with SFan and what a lot of other streamers are doing is they're going rank 14, which from my understanding is the highest you can go, like and still hold your sanity, apparently, because you could go, I mean, there's like a technicality that you can go higher than 14, but the amount of work you need to put into the game is like, for the rest of your life you will play this game and be ranking to get to the next one after 14, because that's just how much experience is required for me to go to 14 to 15. Just no one has logically gone that far to get to 15, so 14 is what everyone tries to get to, and he's trying to do that. And like it's crazy. Like it feels like he no longer wants to play this game with the amount of time that he has to put into it. He has to like try to find a group that's going to just like nonstop do it for 12 hours.
Nice.
And then if he does find a group, he finds it like much later in the day, and he will like force himself awake for like 18 hours because he's already been up for a few hours, and it's crazy. I don't understand.
It was just interesting, like hearing them explain it, but that's
yeah. I mean, I'll watch him occasionally, but like it just seems like he no longer wants to play this game.
The last thing I was trying to do was, one of my friends was telling me that Magic had this crossover thing with Godzilla.
Oh
I
yeah,
did not
yeah.
know that.
And then like if like you get a set, you'll get like one Godzilla card. So I went to Target a few weeks ago and I was like, I'm gonna look for this thing. I just got a booster pack. I knew the set. I was like, okay, I don't know if it's all packs, any pack, specific one.
That's
So I
that
get
whole thing, maybe.
It should carry one Godzilla card within the pack.
Okay.
I was like, okay, fine. So I got one pack and I was leaving, I opened it, not a single card had Godzilla. I was like, F this, toss it. I went like, I think the next day or a few days later, and I got one of the booster boxes, which is like 10 booster packs. I'm like, maybe this is it, because the site made it look like that one for sure had it, but the other ones were sketchy. So I'm sitting in my car, I'm opening all these packs. I was like, nothing. It's like, what the fuck? I'm over it at this point. And I tell my coworker who's been like talking to me about this, he's like, maybe you should just like go on eBay and find these cards just like individually. And sure enough, like each of the cards individually was already, I would have spent as much getting all the cards I wanted doing what I just did. Then he went to a Barnes when Barnes opened again, like reopened recently, and he's like, I found the type of pack it's supposed to be, and it said like supercharged.
Oh my god.
So it was like my Friday off, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go check Barnes. They were open, and I get 2 packs. I get 2. I was like, okay, this is it. I'm gonna try it. If this doesn't work, I'm fucking done. So I open them. The first one, I don't recognize anything. I'm like, this. I feel like I've been duped again. I'm like, I fuck this. And so I just opened the second one out of spite, and it had like OG Godzilla card holographic in it.
Ooh.
And I was like, what the hell, is it a chance? And I look up, I'm like, what are all the cards? And I looked through the first pack I had, and apparently like it was the baby Godzilla, but it looked like a mix of baby Godzilla's face on like a Ghidorah's body. It had like the wings. And I was like, what is, I've never seen this one, but I guess it is. So I was like,
baby
okay,
blue eyes from you again.
yeah, baby blue eyes white. So I was like, all right, this was a costly
Endeavor.
Wait, how much did you spend?
Too much.
How much is too much?
No,
About-
too much is good enough. Don't say the number. You don't need to say the number.
Supreme.
But,
I mean, it was probably it's less than how much you and I signed up for Evo, which is something we forgot to talk about.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Wait, so
are you joining?
Making a comeback then?
Hey, we're going to Evo, man.
Oh my! I thought you were retired, dude. What the fuck?
Hey, dude,
Vargas,
casual,
you joining?
casual.
I don't want to, risk anyone else's life,
I'm-
so probably
I'm-
not.
It's all online.
No, it's online.
Oh, I don't want to risk anyone's lives, so probably. I'm
mean,
not gonna do
I'm
anywhere
paying
with
I'm
that
paying
shit.
$100 to get my butt kicked. So
Holy shit! You guys
because
are
he
crazy.
doesn't have the game.
yeah, I don't have the game, and it's like a $30 registration thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
so you're buying a $60 game and then you're registering for 30, or something like that.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What game is it?
Mortal Kombat Aftermath.
Go ahead.
That's funny.
Yeah, I was watching his stream and he was like, "Oh, dude, I'm gonna sign up for Evo." I was like, "What?" And then I think you were convincing me to join, right?
Yeah, but I was trying to
You're-
convince you to do the pony one, the pony game.
You were
Oh.
thinking Soul Calibur was gonna be the game.
Yeah.
And then we looked at what the online games were, and it was like the pony game,
So
Skull Girls.
so you have to register, and then you have to do like some Discord stuff, and then I'm like looking at the comments of Discord, and people are like gods of this game. They're like, I just beat a Master Kung Lao. I'm just like, oh my god, my name, yeah. I'm gonna get fucking wrecked, dude. I'm like, what
Are
the?
you guys gonna practice? Practice online?
I mean,
or
I'm gonna
practice
practice.
on
I gotta
stream?
practice. Shit.
So after that night, I already had Mortal Kombat 11. I didn't have the
Mhm.
expansion. And that weekend, the last thing I forgot to say was that weekend I started and finished the campaign of both Mortal Kombat 11 and the Aftermath expansion.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And now I'm like, okay, now that I played the campaign, I need to start practicing. I haven't
Wait.
practiced.
Who are you gonna main?
I don't know. I think
I think I'm
because
gonna pick.
the campaign has you go through playing all these different characters, obviously. And I was trying to get a feel for which ones I enjoyed the most. And Kung Lao is fun. I don't feel that impactful with him, so I'm
Hmm.
like worried. Shang Tsung is pretty fun.
Food is mine.
I'm gonna pick.
Well-
I'm gonna pick Liu Kang. I think.
Fire God Liu Kang or Liu
I
Kang?
have no idea. He's a top tier
Yeah,
character.
There's like different versions. Of
Joker,
guys.
Joker, and Liu Kang are top tier. Like they're S tier. So I'm gonna pick Liu Kang.
But are they S plus?
Mm.
There was a chart he was looking at. He's like, "What? That's not even an S tier." I'm like, "No,
Oh,
look at it. It says S plus." Apparently, Arnold is S tier or something. I don't know who I'm gonna pick yet, but I will say that the campaign is fantastic. Like, it is a really It's like if they made another movie. And I decided to like read up on what happened in the prior games because I think this was like the story they started with Mortal Kombat 9.
Yeah.
Because they started messing with resetting the timelines and stuff, and then the 10th one was furthering that, and then this one was sort of like setting that, but also resetting some things.
Yeah.
But are you gonna play 21 Savage when you're practicing? 21
Or when
Savage in a
I'm
minute.
competing, I'm gonna be
They-
playing that song.
They didn't have the animation, the Grand Blue, I think it's called, or something like that.
So
For online.
they have like a larger lineup of games for online competition, except those are like through rankings and everything. So like DBZ Fighters, probably the Grand Blue one, all these other ones, they're like, you have been competing regularly, you're now at these ranks, you can be at the online tournament.
Oh, gotcha.
This was one of the like open registration. You just literally all you gotta do is
Anyone,
pay,
yeah.
and you can fight. And I
Dude.
was like, I'm down if you are. And then he was like, fine.
Did you hear about Filipino champ?
No, what happened?
Banned,
he out?
dude. Banned.
Banned from.
Indefinitely.
What did he? Is it comments?
He tweeted something pretty racist.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. Why?
Well, it just
I
gives
don't
you guys
know,
a better chance. Yeah.
Because he's a fucking heel. I don't
Racist.
know why he did it.
Okay. No, I'm rhetorically asking. I'm like, why would? But yeah. So that
Okay.
Mortal Kombat 11. Yeah. Do you want to get into your topics?
Yeah, we can do that.
So, Vargas.
I didn't. Okay, so mine was first.
Yes.
All right. So, yeah, if you guys can see, I mean, my topic is just like surviving COVID-19, I guess. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. I mean, I don't know.
How? So like, you had been allowed to. Your workplace was like, hey, people can start coming back, right?
So they had I mean I never like fully got furloughed. We were they furloughed some people. Some people I think they like in the beginning they were like, hey, you know, you're gonna be furloughed. We don't know until when, but there were suggestions that certain people that had already gotten furloughed 100% were gonna be furloughed indefinitely. They were like weren't coming back essentially.
But when
yeah.
your first day back, what was the, you weren't sick yet, right?
I was not sick, no. And then I work in an office with with two other people, total of 3 people. It's me and 2 other people included. We are
Wait,
the only people that work on the phones.
I have a question. Like, because I know you can get it through, like, air circulation. Like, the way you guys are seated is, like, the air conditioning blowing from that person that you got it from to you? Or-
No, I don't think so. Like, I know that for me, there's a section that just blows directly to me. For that, but I mean, we're still, yeah, we are in the same room. It is, we are like cubicled off or whatever, and it's big enough to maybe hold 6 people, if not more, but we only have 3 in there, so it's a big enough room to have like that social distancing that's recommended. The only thing is,
Well, I'm
so
just
like,
curious, like those. No, go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say, like, I don't generally deal with the public, or like with like when someone comes to try to buy something, I don't generally deal with them. But we have been like so low staff that occasionally they'll be like, hey, can the bullpen, which is the 3 people there, handle like the front real quick or whatever. So I have had interactions with individuals that just buy regular stuff from us.
My question was, can you talk us through like the first few days when you started being like, I think I have something, like that setting in?
I don't know, like I had I guess kind of like a fever, but it never went over like 100. Like every time I checked it was 99. Right now, today I checked, it was 98.6. Was my temperature, but it was always like 99.5 or something like that. It was never over 100. And I think like on a Thursday is when like I felt like I had a fever, and then that Friday, he checked and he's like, you know what, you got 99.
Did you only have a fever, or did you have that dry cough?
I only had a fever. I think if I'm remembering correctly, I think I was like holding in my cough if I did have one, but I don't remember it being, because I've had like the cough I have now is like nearly uncontrollable. Like it'll just happen. So I didn't have that cough back then, but I feel like I was holding in a cough to make it seem like I didn't have anything.
Like suppressing it.
Yeah, suppressing it.
Damn.
It's
So
crazy because, like, I know you told me that you wouldn't have gone. I don't know if you would have gone to the hospital if your family forced, or not forced you, but told you to go. Like, would you have like tried to like wait it through, or like would you have still gone?
Yeah, I would have just waited it through. I just, cause like I know that there's nothing that can be done. I mean, I guess I can get put on like respiratory help or something like that. You know, they put a device on me or whatever. But like I know, like even when I went to the hospital and they did like an X-ray, and like I was literally like, I had cold sweats while I was waiting in there. You know, like the lady was like, "You're not looking so hot. Do you need something?" I'm like, "I just need water because I'm so thirsty. I haven't drank in like the last few hours. I've been waiting with you guys, you know." And even she made those side comments, but she was like, "You know what? You're healthy enough that like I can't keep you here. Like there's nothing, like even if you are technically dying, I can't like keep you here." Like she even made those comments. Like there's not much. So even then, like yeah, I probably would have just, even without my family like trying to get me to go to the urgent care or anything like that, I probably would have just held off on my own. But yeah, I mean, there's that. At the time when I went, they didn't catch anything, but like later on, I did that on a Saturday, and then on a Monday I had a call from a doctor telling me that they did end up finding pneumonia in my lungs, like off in the corner somewhere, and they ended up giving me antibiotics, which I assume has been helping a lot because it's made me feel a lot better now.
Okay. And
But yeah.
so how was it like? I mean, you're talking about like the fatigue and everything, but like I feel like this whole like we've been in quarantine. I don't know how it like how it's been for you guys, but like we've been in quarantine, not really going too many places really, like groceries, maybe a couple other things. Um, and then things had like escalated the last few weeks with other aspects of America with regarding to the like all this stuff involving Black Lives Matter and everything, and just like I mean we all felt like a part of that, like just like how shitty like all these things were happening, like with the police brutality and stuff. Like then it was after that you had this happen, right?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, it was during that time, like
it was during, but like
Yeah.
it's still kind of like happening. But I mean, like you were in your room. I'm just like, was there an effect of, was there part of this that was challenging in a mental, like emotional way that like you didn't maybe see or expect it or anything? Because I've been without any sickness, thankfully, fortunately, it's been somewhat of like a challenge, and I'm like, I can't imagine what it's like.
I think it's I don't know, like it's an afterthought. Like after you start thinking like, like I'd want things to go back to normal, but in reality, like nothing for me had really changed. I mean, right now, obviously, I can't go out. Like I don't want to go out because I don't want to infect anyone else. But before that, I mean, I never really did much. I didn't go out, too much already. From there, I was trying to social distance a lot more than I would normally do, even when I knew I didn't have it. But then like right now, like now that I'm much better, I'm like, dude, I can't wait to start going out more. I can't wait to like, be more active at this point. And like and in that sense, like both like actively, like physically, just to like be out and running and trying to lose weight at this point, like in a healthy way. And just being out, like because I haven't even touched my own cat. He's been like locked out and isn't allowed to come in, because if I somehow transfer to him and go somewhere else and transfer to someone else, I would feel extremely guilty. So I haven't fed my own cat in the last 2 weeks. So
What's scary as like just looking at the news, like, dude, we just don't know much about COVID. Like Fauci, I don't know if you saw Fauci and CD or WHO saying different opposite things, and it's just like, dude, we really don't know much about this virus, man. And it's just like, fuck.
Yeah,
dude.
there isn't much that like we there's recommendations that have been suggested, like do this, and then the recommendations change because we realize like,
dude, I remember
6 feet isn't enough for,
in the beginning,
stuff like that.
people were like, no, masks don't help, and then now it's like, if everyone wears a mask, it helps. And it's just like, dude, like,
Dude,
and then,
now it's become like a state mandate.
yeah, thank God, dude. I just hate the people who wear the mask and then their nose is exposed. It's like,
They're doing it incorrectly.
I mean, I start calling them penis faces because there was like a comparison where it's like showing wearing your mask with your nose showing is equivalent to wearing your pants with your dick out.
exactly.
I can't get that image out of my head, so I just look at them. I'm like, look at all these.
Yeah, and I've seen online, like, I don't know if it's meant to be like a joke, but like someone's like, excuse me, and like they turn and like they have like a slit in their mask, and they're like, yeah, it allows me to breathe easier.
Oh, I've
And
seen
at
it.
this point, I've seen enough to where it's like, I thought like, at first it was just people that weren't incompetent, but now it's like, I don't even know if this is a joke at this point or not, like it's just so ridiculous. People just trying to get views and clicks and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I haven't seen really any, besides family. I don't think I've really seen anyone that I know
Do you,
since this all kind of started.
do you
Yeah.
f-
I have some friends that were like, oh, maybe we should go out and like social distance, but hang out and wear masks. And I'm like, I don't know how it is for you guys, but wearing the mask is uncomfortable. Like mine is such that like it like presses on my nose when it's over my nose, and it covers my beard, thankfully, so it's got like a full cover. But like I don't like wearing it longer than I have to.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, if let's say we're hanging out at like, and I'm not like judging how they are. I'm just like saying from my own safety and concern or comfort. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wear this mask that makes me uncomfortable at a social outing. We're not gonna like, if we're eating, then that makes things kind of like weird, because then now we're taking our masks off and we're doing all this stuff. And then if we're not, then I'm like, okay, what are we doing? Like, are we just gonna talk, or like if we try to like play a game or something, like throw a football around or whatever, then that's like a risky thing.
Mhm.
And then if someone has to use the restroom, you're like, okay, now I gotta use a public restroom. I'm like, I don't know. Like, there's so many things that I'm questioning, and it makes me think about, like, we've talked about this, I think, a little bit of like that hesitancy whenever the things go back to like safer,
Right.
of like the hesitancy that some might have, myself included, of like, is it like you're just always maybe gonna be
Dude,
questioning it
if
now.
someone like sneezes out in public, everyone's gonna turn their heads. Like, what the?
Or
Yeah.
coughs, dude. If someone
Oh,
coughs,
shit.
you're just like, what? Like, are you good?
Yeah, and like
Am I safe being near you right now?
Do you,
like convention crowds, like it's just like people jam packed. Like the idea of like being, I wonder if like because we've spaced out. I mean, the people that have spaced out, if even a like a mild crowd is gonna feel like a lot. Like imagine Comic-Con crowd after social distancing for so long. I feel like that claustrophobia is gonna like magnify.
yeah,
Yeah.
fuck. Do you feel like since you have it now, like you're good? Like, I think I'm good now.
I think I'm safe. But like I still I would assume I am still able to pass it on, in a sense of like, if I'm with someone that has it, you know, it can be on me when I go somewhere else to someone, you know, that is still susceptible to
But
being able to
do you
get
feel
it.
like after you're like fully like recovered, you're gonna be like, okay, I could go out now. Like, I'm gonna go out more.
I will go out more, but just because I felt like I've been locked in now. So, you know, I'll go to the grocery store myself. Like, I haven't been going myself. Like, I've been allowing other people to go, even before I had it. You know, and they'll like stock up the whole pantry or whatever. But I think I would go out more often now, just because I have the capabilities to go out more and enjoy. Like, I just feel like I've been locked in for so long.
Instagram
You know, and I need to go
stories.
out.
Yo, what's up, guys? At Vegas pool party.
Pretty much. No. I think I will go out more often now. I'm not in a sense of like, you know, because I can't get it anymore, but because I feel like I've been just locked in for so long now.
Yeah.
You know, I want to go out and about.
Yeah, I've been.
So I'm still going to be safe. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to be the reason for anyone to get it.
I've been looking at.
Whether I know it or not.
I've been looking at my Facebook memories, and there's a lot of E3 events. I'm like, fuck, man. I kind of miss those, man. I miss those. Miss those events in LA, dude.
Yeah, I didn't think I would, and then I saw like EA Play, and I was like,
I know. I asked you. You're like,
kinda
never,
nice to be there
never.
right
I
now.
never want to go to EA Play ever again. And then now,
Please take me back.
please take me to Apex.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad you're like getting through the tough parts.
Yeah, dude. I was like, I
Yeah,
didn't want to see Wild Vargas. I wanted to see Old Vargas, and Old Vargas is back.
Which is
dude.
crazy. I mean, like, I'm someone who, like, I've always tried to been away. Like, I try to stay away from like being social. Like, I'd rather stay home than being out and about. But like, I don't know, for someone who's like, obviously, because there are people that are like, they get re-energized from being social.
Yeah.
Like, it would be insane. Like, it would be like, I mean, that's crazy to think, like, someone who needs to go out and they can't, like, they have to stay in, you know, like, I just to have that thought and that idea that like you can't go out and you have to, because you're gonna put other people at risk, you know. It doesn't mean that they're not gonna go out, but
Or some people just
I-
don't care and they just fuck it.
yeah. Yeah, like I've had moments where like I wanted to just get in my car and just kind of drive, just to be out.
Oh, I 100% do that.
I mean,
like, on my days off.
that's okay to do because you're by
I know,
yourself,
but like I like, again, like, dude, I don't want to be the reason for anyone else, because this is
drive?
ridiculous.
But you're in your
no,
car.
well, like, I don't know, like, I mean, obviously when I'm breathing, like, I don't know, it seeps out of the fucking car. I have no fucking clue, dude.
I think,
But-
to be honest, I think it's okay to be outside with the virus as long as you're far away from each other.
But we're
It's
next
when
door
you're
neighbors, so I'll make
inside
sure to come over.
and the air just fucking circulates, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what I've been doing because I've felt like that stir craziness, and like on the weekends I'll just go for like a couple hours, put a podcast on, and like I'm driving and playing Pokemon.
Yeah.
I'm just like this. I don't know. It's refreshing, but it's weird because I'm like, oh my god, I haven't had to commute in so long.
Hey,
And now I'm like, oh, this is kind of nice.
to be honest, I low-key want to go to the beach, like through the Santa Ana River.
Dude, my dad and he's taken my little sister to the beach already, and he was like, it was ridiculous. Like, he's like, I couldn't find parking. Like, we didn't even end up going to the beach. And then the following weekend they went like way earlier and they made it in. But
Wow.
yeah, so they've been like on that, like, I need to go to the beach as well kind of thing.
Wow.
But this is earlier. Well, this is
Yeah.
like 2.
No, I just mean like the fact that the crowd, like, it's so crowded right now with like no parking and stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dude, people are dude, they
How
want to
people
go
wanna
out,
go out.
man. They want to wild
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, dude. Which is why, like, I mean, like, one of the most insane things I've heard is like what is it, AMC's or different movie theaters want to open up and not require a
Oh,
mask.
wait.
Oh.
Here's a question. Tenet comes out end of July. Are you guys gonna watch it?
I really want to.
I'm gonna watch it. I mean, at this point, I'm
you're safe,
but
dude.
I'm gonna wear a mask at the same time.
Wait, if I'm with you, am I safe?
That's the thing. I don't know.
No,
I'll wear
I-
a mask though. I'll wear a mask.
I don't know. I need to know that, like, I'm wondering if
Okay, how
everyone's
about-
too
okay.
scared to go.
What
but
about
if I go at like a showtime that like no one wants to go?
okay? What about Comic-Con wasn't canceled? Would you still go to Comic-Con at this rate?
I don't think I would. I wouldn't. Even though I've had it now, I would, and I would recommend you guys not go either.
Yeah, I probably don't think I would.
Yeah. At this point, I'd wait for anything for next year.
But I don't. Okay, so this I don't know. I might like risk. I might be like go there and just like peek and be like, is it crowded? Like, did everyone else like
Peek.
bail out? And
No,
if everyone
just-
else bailed
I
out,
don't
No.
think
This
so.
is what you do. You go, but you had to do a Mr. Freeze cosplay,
yeah, oh,
so
there
you're
you go.
safe.
Dude,
If-
today we were at Trader Joe's and I saw like everyone's got their masks on. One guy walks in with a panda, like furry helmet,
Wow.
and he's just shopping in the produce.
I
Hell
think
yeah, they do
he's
get
like,
his
hey, are
mask
you
on.
Crush, #1 furry lover?
No,
He's
but
like,
like,
this is fun.
dude, I could tell you that, like, right now, if there was an announcement saying like, hey, Comic-Con is no longer canceled, just recommend a mask, dude, everyone would fucking go
Yep.
to Comic-Con.
I
I don't
agree.
think everyone.
I think everyone would go.
I
Okay,
agree.
so I have preview night. I might try to.
I don't know. I just don't recommend it. I mean, the thing is, like, I wouldn't go because when I go like
Yeah, you're
for
right.
2 full days, and even then, like, the most memorable one is going to fucking Nintendo.
Yeah,
That's all it
100%.
is, dude.
Yeah, you're right. I probably wouldn't go.
And, like,
But-
it's
but
not-
to go back to the movie thing. I am like, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I really want to
Uh,
see that in theaters.
What if it came out today?
No.
Would
I
you
wouldn't
I
go?
mean, I'm sure no one would go to a midnight showing.
Man, you risk death.
I feel like everyone is just like, no,
Oh,
to go
man.
at middle day, and then fucking it's the most
Everyone.
packed. I know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll play it by ear, but I'm more on the hesitant side than I am up for doing anything.
I think like things are changing. Like before it was like, oh, it's going straight to DVD. That was a flop. Now it's like, oh, thank God it's going straight to DVD. I can watch it. Like, holy shit.
Wait, I have a question. When they did the test for you, did they do the nose thing?
So the way that I did it was it was a free CVS test.
Okay.
And so you just have to find like one where you find like an appointment that's available for it. Mine was on a Monday, and yeah, they literally I go through a drive-through CVS. They hand me a bag that has instructions, and yeah, I do a swab. I stick it like fucking far down my nose.
Oh,
So you
God.
do it
I
yourself?
I did it myself. Yeah, I had to
God.
twist it, and I had to leave it in my nose for 30 seconds.
Oh my God.
Then I have to pull it out and the exact same one, I gotta stick it down the other fucking nostril and do the exact same thing, twist it, and then hold it for 30 seconds. Yeah, dude.
So deep things can go in your nose.
But now I have to do it again, so I don't know if I could just go to my regular hospital at this point since I've had it.
So right now, one of my coworkers showed me that Red Cross is doing something where it's not to test if you have them now, but you can go to donate and they'll do a free test to see if you have the antibodies for them, like if you've had them.
Yeah.
And if you're asymptomatic or whatever, and they're like, hey, we'll do that for a limited time. And I'm like, I mean, I don't want to go because I know I've been to those Red Cross facilities. A lot of times they'll just come to my work and I do those instead.
Yeah.
But at the facility, I've gone a couple times and I'm like, this is like a doctor's office. There's just too many people that I'm like, I don't want to. I'll get it just by going there.
Now I can share it with the world, so we're good.
Well,
glad
glad you're doing better, dude.
I'm glad too.
You're Destiny's Child. You're a survivor. So we'll go on to my topic. I think last week, was it? PlayStation held its long-awaited showcase of the PlayStation 5.
PlayStation 5 reveal event.
Yep. And so they had this hour 15 video. Did you guys watch it?
I did.
Yes.
Yeah. You watched it? Jang, you watched it?
Yes.
Push the top.
Yes.
And okay, so we all watched it. High level, without going into the details of it. Overall, what did you think? Do you think the whole thing was?
I love the small things. Like they've always done a weird thing with PlayStation and revealing glimpses of things.
Okay.
So in between each one, it shows a weird PlayStation, I don't know, backdrop, or I don't know what.
Oh, with the giant
background.
X.
Yeah, the X's and O's. It would just it would show blue, it would show white, it would show an X, it would show an O. And I've always thought because they had the one where there was a baby one for the PlayStation 3, I think it was.
Yeah.
That was so weird, but I was so intrigued by it. I was like, it doesn't make sense, and yet I'm enticed by it. What is this? I love that they had those in between, but a lot of the information wasn't it wasn't holy shit, this is coming out kind of thing. It wasn't anything amazing to me.
Okay. Jang, what did you think?
I'm the exact opposite. They did a really smart job. So I don't know if you guys realize. So the very first reveal was the Spider-Man.
No, there was some before.
Oh yeah, right. Grand Theft Auto, but
the free game.
But no, the way they did the Spider-Man was smart because I live streamed it, and thank God there was a couple people watching it with me. And I was watching. They were showing flashbacks of PS4 games, right? And God of War, the blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, I'm waiting for Spider-Man. And they didn't show Spider-Man. And then I said that to my chat. I was like, yo, why didn't they show Spider-Man? And then the fucking first trailer was fucking Spider-Man. I was like, that's fucking smart. To exclude it from, because to me that's one of their biggest
highlight reel.
First person games. And I was like, oh, that's pretty fucking smart. And they also revealed PlayStation Studios, Demon Souls, which I thought should have been at the end. You need to start strong, and you need to start strong. Finish strong too. So
you like the flow overall?
I like the reveals, but I would have put Demon Souls ahead or last, and Resident Evil 8 ahead of Demon Souls, because I felt like Demon Souls was the biggest. To me, it was the biggest announcement.
Well, it's the Demon Souls. It's a remake, right? It's a remaster. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we can go into the games now. Start off with the Rockstar logo.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think
I'm assuming people were like, holy shit, Grand Theft Auto 6.
And then they go back,
baby.
They should have started off with the Skyrim carriage.
See, that was when you're talking about this pacing. I think that was a weird pacing move. I feel like that Grand Theft Auto thing could have been thrown somewhere in the middle.
I think it was fine to start out with it, because that's not very strong. The Grand Theft Auto 5.
But
not a very strong thing.
one of my favorite series, like highlight reel of trailers, was PSX the year Jang's video got like he did his clip where they did the Last of Us 2 one.
Hmm.
Like that one felt like it started strong and it ended strong. I would have like if looking now in hindsight, like I think if they started just without any hesitation, just straight into the Spider-Man instead of that preface, it felt like a prologue. It's like,
Yeah.
it kind of like confused you, and then you got into it.
Yeah.
Did you guys care much about the Grand Theft Auto 5 thing?
I
Yeah.
don't, cause like I own it on PS3, PS4, and on PC at this
I
point.
mean, I played it. I didn't like it. So
Okay, and then yeah, next they went into what James talked about, Spider-Man Miles Morales.
which is a standalone, like
Yeah, there was
Lost
some,
Legacy?
there was some confusion about that. They clarified Insomniac Games. So afterwards, like so many studios or so many journalist sites were like, it's an expansion. Insomniac themselves clarified, and then someone's like, nah, dude, it's an expansion. And then we made the game. We know. But
But
like,
it's
they were
similar
saying it's like a
to
shorter game.
yeah, it's like what is it? Uncharted Legacy.
Lost
or what was
Legacy.
it
Lost
called?
Legacy.
Yeah, Lost Legacy, where it's like not a full game, and I think they've stated it's like what, like a full $40 game too.
I don't know if
know
they
if
set a
they-
price, but they said it's akin to the Lost Legacy, like
Yeah.
spent like that size of a game.
But there's people saying that like Lost Legacy is a way better game than the original Uncharted games apparently. So
Yeah,
I
mean,
mean,
there's-
this could be really
well, it's
good.
opinion.
What's that?
It's an opinion. So,
Yeah, and like I think that goes to like people wanting like you want like a super fluffed up like if what's better, a tighter game that's more impactful or a game with a ton of like expansion and like maybe fluff. Like I feel like there's risks to both. You
Yeah.
could be like, well, this is shorter, which I wanted more out of, but this is longer, but it's longer because of unnecessary things.
Hmm.
So it doesn't necessarily, I think, mean like just because a longer game is longer means it has substance. I think, but I don't know. I was excited. I still haven't played the first one. Have you guys?
no.
I own it. I haven't played it.
Jay.
I haven't played.
And it's that one. So with this one, they were saying holiday of this year. So they're like, I'm imagining it's going to be on PS4 and PS5.
Yeah.
Then they went into this like in-depth Gran Turismo 7, which I mean that's like PlayStation's.
I've always been a huge fan of the Gran Turismo games, but
Yeah?
like every time I get it, I'm like, I fucking suck at these fucking racing games, dude. It's nowhere. Yeah, because I assume like I'm gonna play it like Grand Theft Auto, where it's like, you know, I'm just over here like skirting around and super easy, but it's like it's too realistic to the point where I can't even turn fucking.
I don't know, man. San Andreas has fucking bad. Fuck, it's hard to drive until you get your driving skill up.
Yeah, but like that driving skill up, that's the kind of like what I'm imagining, and in reality, like, you know, it's too realistic, and I'm over here like not able to make like a left turn because I'm just gonna hit the bank and then hit the wall and then like
Yeah.
flip.
I definitely have learned the distinction between a simulator game and a game.
Yeah.
Whenever it says like flight simulator, I'm like, nah, not for me. Too realistic. Like I'm used to what you're saying, like Burnout, you know.
Yeah,
Cruising
exactly.
Birthday,
And I
Mario Kart.
wish I could be really good with simulator games, but that's not the thing for me apparently.
Jang, did you have any thought? Like, what do you?
I could care less about Grand. I played the very first one and it's whatever. Not my type of game.
Yeah. All right. Next, then they went into the new Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and they were talking about like I think in between these they were kind of showcasing like ray tracing, all these new technologies, 3D
Yeah.
audio, and then like each game was supposed to further emphasize that, and then this game was supposed to like
Putting it all
highlight some of
together.
those things. So they showed the trailer, they showed some gameplay where you're like, I don't know, it kind of had like an Into the Spider-Verse vibe where you're like jumping through these dimensions.
Yeah, you're going from
What
like
you guys-
the six cities where dinosaurs are. I'm excited. I've always been a huge fan of the Ratchet and Clank, both that and the Jack and Dexter games. Yeah, both those are like I've been a huge fan of. And Ratchet and Clank, I mean that's the one that's like recently also had a different game come out, and it's always done really good for me. So I'm
Yeah, the
excited for
remaster was a lot of fun. Did you play that?
Yeah, yeah.
Jang, what do you think?
I've never played a Ratchet and Clank. It looked cool. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Like, I just don't like platformers. It's kind of weird. It's like one of the reasons why I haven't played Mario Odyssey. Just, I don't know. I'm just not a fan.
Okay.
I mean, okay, wait. I take that back. Like, realistic platformers, like Uncharted, is okay. But, like, cartoony platformers, I don't know. I don't like it for some strange reason.
Okay. I love the commercials they used to do, like all the ones where it's like the kids with using like the real guns in the backyard. Do you guys remember those commercials?
Yeah.
I want them to bring those back. But they ended that trailer with like, oh, it's like a girl Ratchet or something.
They get split dimension wise, I think, and then Clank ends up asking, "Where's Ratchet?" And he's like, "Who's that?"
People started doing what's that thing, the Section 8 or whatever. What is it called?
Rule 34.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone posted like, "Look what they've done to my girl." Rule 34. Like, she's barely.
Dude,
been
people.
in there.
No, I mean not just like Rule 34. Whenever something comes up, people within an hour will make fan art. That's fucking amazing, dude. It's like fuck, dude.
No, it's not amazing. It's Rule 34.
Well, not Rule 34. I'm just saying fan art in general. Like people will
Gotcha.
see something.
I'm always surprised by the people that have already done the cosplay for it. I'm like, how the
I
hell?
think if you think of like people individually, though, it's like we try to do the same thing when like a new game comes out. Is like if we're the first ones to play it, we believe we might get the most,
Sure.
views or most likes out of it. So it's
Awesome.
I think it's someone like an artist thinking the same thing. Like if I can work this, with my art style, I can start getting some likes on this.
Mhm. Then we had Square Enix logo pop on the screen, and they showcase some like crazy visual cinematic stuff, and it's this project called Project Athia, which had like these werewolf monsters, some random fantasy shit. What did you guys think of this one?
So this one, I thought that werewolf was the final, not the Final Fantasy, the Resident Evil.
I mean, they showed one there. There was like some dog creature. Like, I have a screenshot of it. It's like this fire. Like I don't know. It just had a bunch of like different beasts, and this one kind of looked like a werewolf.
So this Resident Evil and
Project.
this Project Athia got the same thing.
This one had
Oh,
that
I guess
dragon.
Tony-
Do you remember that dragon? It was like a
Yeah,
smoke
yeah.
with the fire in its chest.
Man, it must have been really epic.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay. Jang, what did you think?
I'm probably gonna pass. It didn't really like get me.
For me, it was a lot of just like, this looks cinematic, but I don't know what like the gameplay will look like. Like I'm always questioning that because like Final Fantasy has like some really cool like trailers, cinematic stuff, and then when I see the game, I'm like, eh.
Okay, I'm looking at it again. I don't know. I'm interested just because like I've always been a fan of Square Enix, and I feel like they've always done really well with their games. So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
And when they were first showing it, I thought it was gonna be a sequel to Lara Croft.
Me too. Yeah, that's the one thing I remember is seeing that. I'm like, oh, this is Lara Croft. Like I was like Square Enix female. Oh, this is Lara Croft.
And then it's just showing her feet and like she's come to a world.
Yeah, exactly.
Are they taking Laura to a weird place?
It's she's doing the dimensional rift through Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah. Then we had a kitty game. We had Annapurna Interactive doing this robot like trailer. It's like a dystopian robot world. And then there's
And
the
the
cat.
only thing that's living is the cat.
Gato, stray.
What'd
So
you guys
that one, I don't know. I'm curious, but like I don't think it's a game I really will play. It seems like one of those. It's like I don't know if have you guys checked out any other Annapurna games before?
I can't think that I have.
So they did one called
Oh,
like
Sayonara Wild Hearts.
so
Yeah.
that's a more recent one. They've done the is it Journey?
It shows them having done Journey, Edith Finch, Donut County, Gone Home.
So yeah, they've done a lot of really good ones, but it's always been like a game that like it's styles of games I've never really been into. So I'm not sure if this is something I ended up picking up, if I'm honest.
Now that I'm seeing what they've done, I think
You're
I'm
like
all
even
in.
more curious, yeah.
Well, I love Flower. I love Journey. I love Signer and Wall Hearts. I think that's enough for me to be
Gone
on
Home
board.
was good until the ending.
Gone. Mm.
They did that puzzle one, the Gargantuan or something like that.
Gorogoa?
Which is one, yeah, Gargoyle, which is one I picked up on the Switch.
Yeah, I'm curious what the gameplay aspect of like that was more of a cinematic kind of trailer. It's like here's the tone.
Yeah, I think it's a story that'll be told like through you obviously playing the cat,
And also,
and I don't think we'll see any humans.
it changed to
Ah.
PS5 to
And then this one was saying it was 2021 release. The Project Athia just said exclusive to
Yeah, and
PS5.
that Stray game is probably a multi-console, and it's an indie game.
Yeah.
I think any game for sure.
Next we had a new franchise from Housemarque, who typically do like the shmup style, like super hyper colored arcade stuff, but it's called Returnal. It was like an astronaut woman, and like it was showing her like it was sort of like a Live Die Repeat.
Yeah, it reminded me
Oh,
of World
right.
of Tomorrow.
Yeah, World of Tomorrow, the real title. Or Edge of Tomorrow. Sorry, Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh yeah, Edge. Yeah.
But yeah, what did you think of this one?
I don't know. This one, I'm interested because this is something that I don't. I mean, they didn't show enough of for me to like understand it, so I want more of it. But yeah, I think I'm curious with this one.
Okay.
I think
I like
play it.
I like the concept of it. I think there's another game that has the same similar concept, but it's like an indie game. So I'm kind of curious how they execute it.
Death Stranding.
No. There's like an indie game where like you get murdered and you have to like it starts to level over, and then you got to prevent bad stuff from happening. And
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm reading this one. It says the planet changes every time that the character dies
Yeah.
on Returnal.
I think when they showed, I like was confused. Like the watching the trailer, I was like, this is Metroid meets Edge of Tomorrow. Like the way they had her kind of gave me like a Samus vibe.
Yeah.
She's in this alien world, and then when they showed the title, like the Returnal, I just felt like they didn't even try. It felt like a groan, like, Mom, what game can I get this? And I was like, Returnal, like what the fuck? I don't know, it just didn't, it felt very off-putting.
Yeah.
And I didn't, like, I was just like, eh. But maybe we'll see. Housemarque, they do interesting, like, game mechanics, so I'm curious if that is going to be the main hook versus the story, but it looks like they're trying to go, like, really into story. So then next up, they showed the Sackboy, but it's not from the original developers. It's a different developer doing like a platformer, which is Jang's favorite thing.
yes, I love those cartoony platformers.
Did this one do anything for you guys?
Not necessarily, man. I think when I didn't see that it was the original producer, the developer, I guess, and then I don't know, like it's just I think I've outgrown Sackboy, you know, like I'm no longer the kid that wants to have a big adventure anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like it gave people false hope. They're like, oh shit, it's gonna be LBP, whatever, third one? Is it third or fourth?
Fourth.
Yeah,
Fourth. But it wasn't.
They should have said that this game was made using Dreams. Because the original Sackboy people went on to make the Dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't. That did nothing. Next up was a. What the fuck even is this? It's like a car smashing combat game.
Oh, yeah,
Destruction
yeah.
All Stars.
It's like Destruction Derby.
Yeah. And they were like the PS5.
I don't know. I had
Doing things
flashbacks of
You know
of
what?
my,
What it felt like? It felt like it was something stuck in the 90s or early 2000s. That trailer when they showed it, I was like, dude, this is outdated, dude. Like,
But like it brought flashbacks of like the 2049 racing game that has You know, or for me, like I guess
Yeah.
like it would be what were the other destruction car games? The
Twisted Metal?
Vigilante and Twisted Metal, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like I don't know, I'm kind of interested. I'm kind of interested. The only thing
Wild Vargas is back.
the only thing I didn't care for is like it shows people on foot. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Like you know, it should be all like all destruction.
Yeah, all car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird.
So,
I was just confused more than anything. um, like, I think it was at that point. Yeah, like so, the next few games started shifting a little bit, but at that point, after Sackboy and then that, I was looking at what had been announced so far. I was like, aside from Spider-Man, they've done just like Grand Theft Auto 5, sort of just like okay, whatever. Gran Turismo 7, which is it felt like it's just they have to do it.
mhm.
Ratchet and Clank, which I'm like on board for moment or anything, and then these other games were all kind of like okay to like indie or, and then these last two, I was like, what is PlayStation? I'm not getting like a wow factor yet. Like it just felt weird to me. Like it just
Mhm.
felt pretty mild, and it kind of felt like these games were very like you were saying like they made you feel like the '90s or whatever, like a different time period.
Yeah.
The destruction one, I wasn't in yet. I was like, okay, I hope they have like it wasn't even like half an hour in, so I'm like, okay, I'm sure they're saving some, but to me at that point the pacing was a little weird. So, yeah, then they started doing some other indie games. And I think that's when they were like, for me, they were really doing good. So they had the Kenna Bridge of Spirits. It was like a Pixar looking like.
It's like
girl-
Pikmin.
Yeah,
Similar to Pikmin, yeah, because you have
Yeah,
free control.
you're right. It had a Pikmin vibe to it. Did this do anything for you guys?
This one was I don't know, like it seems like it's like that. I mean, obviously we're comparing it like Pikmin, but it's also had like its RPG feel to it. So this is what I'm kind of a little curious with.
Yeah. You know, like I can't think of the names of any specific games, but like whenever a console launches, there's always like a very vibrant, colored like fantasy type game.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I remember Xbox had one. Like I think of like Trine, and I think of some other games like that. and I'm
Fable.
like, Fable.
And they,
I'm not saying they're always hitting the mark, but it's just like it feels like that's a
Yeah.
staple of like a launch catalog of games, and like this
Yeah,
feels like it fits that.
cartoonish, yeah. Naturalistic.
Then we had this anime kind of game, Goodbye Volcano High.
I
was like-
don't even remember this one at all.
This was
It's,
like
it's Karosha's favorite game.
this is like where it was like a bunch of dinosaurs and different
Oh, yeah. I remember
pretty much
that.
furries and like they're all in high school and
Really
it
weird.
was like an anime. It made me think of that one game, Jang, you had played. It was like a story point and click game.
Mhm.
The one that has this storm.
The one with the girl and she has like a
Life is Strange?
Yeah.
I like the tone of it, like the themes maybe.
I'm sure it's similar to that. It's like a point and click, and you know, like it follows a story the way you're
Maybe,
pointing.
yeah. But it was interesting, just like how much like of an anime it was. Like it felt like I didn't
It's
see any
so-
gameplay.
yeah.
I
It was
just
like
saw-
weird.
it was like Dragon's Lair. Is that the game? The arcade?
It's called Goodbye Volcano.
Goodbye Volcano High. Oh god, don't Google the images that. There's a lot of.
Rule 34?
Oh,
Pretty-
it's scary. Holy fuck! I'm getting out of here. It's scary. Did this do anything for you guys?
I mean, no,
No.
0.
Next up, we got Oddworld Soulstorm.
Which I mean, I'm curious. I don't know. Like this is, again, like already off the bat, like there's a lot of games I'm curious about. Oddworld's one like I've never really picked up. Like I'd never really played any of these Oddworld games. And funny enough, I own some of them because they were free, like on, in one way or another, for me to own on PlayStation. But I don't think I'm gonna play this one.
Jang?
I never played a single one. and it's
Yeah.
a cartoony platformer, so it's my favorite type.
This is cartoony.
I guess not. It's more serious.
I mean, it's got the big eye stuff, but out of all of them, if like I've only seen the cinematics of them, and this one felt like the most non. Maybe I feel like they're
yeah.
trying
It's not.
to-
It's not
they're
cartoony.
trying to go into the more mature territory. Maybe like get out of that. But the gameplay made me think cartoony, for sure. Like, do you guys remember the DS games where it's like the toy Mario's?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Or
yeah. Donkey
Like I'm
Kong.
looking at a screen. Yeah, Donkey Kong Mini Mario Maker
Mhm.
something. I'm looking at a screenshot of this game, and it's like you're leading a bunch of like these other Oddworld people through a level, and you're trying to like not have them die. It makes me feel of like it's like that. It's like that.
Yeah.
That's the gameplay. I'm like, so. Then we had Ghostwire Tokyo, which was spooky from last year's
Mm.
I mean, last year it had a very strong like.
It was like a cinematic trailer.
Yeah, it didn't
but
show
this time,
gameplay.
like, and then now it shows gameplay, and it's very boring, man. It's like,
I was not a fan of the game.
Dude,
yeah, it
which,
just shows you dodging or like I don't know.
which
It looked
sucks,
like-
dude, because Shinji Mikami is like helming it too.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I wonder
something.
if there's more to it, and the slice they showed just wasn't good. But
You gotta find better slices.
like it made me think of the Buddhist Overwatch character, the robot monk.
yeah.
Like when he's throwing the balls, like that's how the combat looked like in this. Yeah, I wasn't.
It was very weak, man. Very, very.
I feel
weak.
like he took on something. I don't know. That's the only way I can explain it. He took on something that was not his vision, and it's just like, oh shit. Like it's kind of weird. Why would she leave? When she was heading it.
Yeah,
So
that's true. And it's also set to come out in 2021, so it's like, are they gonna correct, or is there still a lot left to be
I
done?
mean, Shinji Mikami's track record is good, but fuck yeah, this looks bad. Looks bad.
The next was like just a bunch of like short clips of like humanity or what looked like a civilization going into space and minimalistic art style. It's called Jet: The Far Shore,
Oh yeah.
and it launches into space and it shows like time passing.
It looks like an indie game.
Yeah, I mean, if it has a good style, I'm into it, but I just don't know what kind of game it even is.
Right. Yeah.
I like the vibe though, like it seemed cool. I didn't know what else to think about besides that.
I mean, as of now, I don't know. It's just not something I'm interested in for.
They could just Tokyo Ghostwire it.
I think this one's better than Tokyo Ghost.
Damn.
And then next they have the first announced PlayStation game, which they showed at the Video Game Awards, which was Godfall.
So this.
This is the
I mean,
Capcom
it looks like. I mean, because they finally showed gameplay this time around.
Yeah.
And it looks like Diablo. It looks like a top-down like.
It's like
third person. Yeah, like beat 'em up or.
Mhm.
Or like everything on the map is gonna get obliterated by you type game.
That'd be. I mean,
Right.
if they have like the gameplay loop of Diablo mixed with like the combat of Vanquish,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just like speedily like running through this shit, that'd be kind of cool.
I mean, I'm assuming you get there, but like obviously, like your first playthrough, you're gonna play very slow,
Sure.
methodical, and stuff like that. It's something. I think this is one of the beginning games I will pick up for PlayStation 5. Well, I mean, doesn't this come out before that?
No, it's like the PS. It's coming out this holiday,
Okay.
so it's supposed to be like a launch title.
Okay.
Jane.
I'm gonna pass.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't look intriguing to me.
Yeah. Have either of you played Warframe?
No. Oh, actually, I have.
have.
E3, yeah.
Okay.
No,
I've heard it getting compared to like some of what is like Warframe.
Then
combat.
I don't
wanted
like
to get
it.
into it, but I got in, or like when I started playing Warframe, it was so far into it that I was like, I'm too late in this game. I never got into it.
Then This is like the first one I really, besides the Spider-Man one, that I was like, ooh, when they showed the creators of Hyperlight Drifter,
Mmm.
Solar Ash.
Mmm.
I don't know. I didn't care for it, to be honest with you.
I like the style that
I love
Hyperlight
Hyperlight Drifter, so I'm in.
you got. Is your metronome ready?
Fuck, man. Oh my god, dude.
Man, I remember-
You know the reason why he makes games so hard, right? Because he can die at any moment. He has a heart condition. So like people always complain to him like, why the fuck did you make Hyperlight Drifter so fucking hard? Or at least some of the things, not the game, but like the metronome thing. He's like, dude, life is fucking hard. My life is hard. I could die at any fucking minute. So you got nothing. You got nothing to fucking complain about, dude.
He clapped back hard.
I know, dude. I was like, okay, respect. I was like, when I read that interview or saw that interview, I was like, okay, respect.
Yeah, this one said 2021 arrival. So I'm interested. We'll see.
I'm interested for sure. That's a buy, dude.
They didn't say
It's gonna get backlash though, because
why.
because Gamergate. I think the person who's heading it, she is like she's the one that brought up Gamergate, and I feel like Gamergate people are gonna shit on it.
Yeah.
But I
Hopefully.
mean, I fuck. I'm gonna buy it. Fuck it.
Yeah. Then they showed a new trailer for the next Hitman 3.
Which I mean, it game's too goddamn big. I don't know.
I've heard the last two have been fun, where it's like these like
Yeah,
each
there's
chapter is just
there's
like you can.
so much. There's so fucking much to do in each chapter.
Oh really?
It's overwhelming. Yeah, it's too overwhelming. And then like when I saw this, like I don't know if the setting's supposed to be somewhere specific, like Dubai or whatever, but it was set very futuristic. Like it's in the sky or whatever. There's just so much. There's just so much. I think I don't know. It's something I might pick up, but like I don't think I'll ever end up really being able to beat it.
Okay.
I don't even like even when I picked up the first and second Hitman, I never really beat the first levels. So, and it only gets more and more content.
Bald is beautiful. Nah, I've only played one Hitman and I didn't like it, but then the gameplay has changed a lot. So
Yeah.
what I played is not how the games are now. So I mean,
Yeah.
we'll see.
You can play completely different now. You can go full blown, just running through and gun if you want.
Yeah, I know. Back in the day, it was very methodical, and you had to really make your moves really count.
Yeah.
And I didn't like
now
it.
There's some intricate, like crazy ass moments where it's like you can throw a coin that causes someone to change their route, and like they're the ones who end up doing like the the kill that you're supposed to do or whatever. And it's crazy. There's crazy stuff. There's one where you can change the a golf ball to be explosive, so that when the guy goes to play golf, he just
Nice.
So there's so much you can do in these games, and it's crazy. But like it's also like in a sense it's also overwhelming. So.
Yeah, because of. Next up was, I just feel like this is gonna be like comes with the console game,
More
Astro
than likely.
Playroom.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, even now, like, I think I have Astro's Playroom and PS4, and I've never even launched.
That's my favorite type of genre.
So I'll probably never play this, honestly.
Then they had this interesting indie game, or it looked like an indie game, Little Devil Inside.
I'm trying to
It was
remember
like
this one.
it was showing two stories. It was showing a story of like an old guy, and then it was flashing back to like this young hunter. It looked like he was like.
Oh yeah.
And it had like this like.
There's a
art
rich
style.
dude, old rich dude,
Yeah.
and then like a monster hunter guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is one I'm interested in.
I was really into the.
Yeah, and then the toilet.
So, yeah, I remember that part.
Goomies.
So the only part I was reading more about was that a lot of people thought that there's a moment where it shows these like tribal people, and they have dark skin, dreadlocks, and like big red lips,
Yeah.
and they were like, that's not the right time to show this. And
Do you know
the
if the
studio-
developer is Western
God.
or no?
I don't know. I do think they're foreign. I just don't know what country. But they had received the feedback, and they were like, "This is our first game, and we've been working on it for 5." We never really realized that, and we're totally like
Open to changing it.
we're in the process of changing it, and that is one of the things we're going to update. So to make sure that we don't do anything, we were just thinking like they were explaining their design intent, they were
Yeah.
explaining their areas that they overlooked, and they were talking about like, okay, these are the things we're going to do to correct that. And they were like, we just hope everyone has a little, this is our first game, we're a little nervous. It was kind of nice, like how transparent and like how, I don't know, sincere it seemed. Like
Yeah.
they were just like, this is our first shot, we don't want to screw it up, we're bad. So
We're bad and we feel bad.
yeah. But it looked like, outside of that, like that, it looks like a cool game. Like I'm really curious, like what the story is. And
Yeah, I wonder how it plays into each other.
Yeah.
Like the two characters.
yeah. Next up, we got a dude sweating in a basketball court. By
Dude,
himself.
first thought was
Zion?
fucking no, and the what is
No,
it?
the guy's
skits-
name is Zion. Zion
the
Williamson.
skits from Comedy Central. What is the
Key and
Dave
Peele?
Chappelle?
Yeah, Key and
Oh.
Peele, yeah.
Oh,
The
when he's
one where, like,
sweating.
they're just sweating like crazy or whatever. That's my first fucking thought,
Yeah.
dude.
It was just,
Oh my God.
yeah, it was just showing the dude sweating.
It was. I think it was a terrible teaser.
Yeah.
Like literally, like if anything, I'm like, okay, I know it's exactly
But
the same thing.
you
as
know
every
what's
other
crazy is there's a market for it. That FIFA,
yeah.
Madden, Call of Duty. There's people that only buy a fucking
game. Yeah,
console
but
for
the
one game.
market is you just have to release it. They didn't even need to show it.
I mean, I feel like this is like the Gran Turismo thing where it's just like we gotta like showcase something. Like,
The physics. Let's show that
Yeah,
we can sweat now.
yeah. But the next game really showed things off. It was Bug Snacks
Oh
Hell
my
yeah,
gosh,
dude. That
From
shit
the-
was creepy.
from the creators of Octodad.
Dude, it's gonna be the next fucking whatchamacallit, next, dude.
But
Dude, baby.
the song
Next
though,
to
dude.
Oh my god,
The
everyone's just going crazy with the fucking
You know
song.
who made that song, right?
No.
They made that meme song like, how many shrimps does it take to eat before
What?
you skin
I'm
turns
not
pink?
I'm not surprised.
It's a meme song, so they're the same band that made that song. TikTok.
Are
dude.
you guys interested in this?
I don't know, like they're trying to show that there's something bizarre going on within the game itself, but I'm zero fucking interest, dude. I have no fucking clue what's going on with this game.
I just
Jang?
want to eat the strawberries with eyes.
All right, next up, we got Blizzard's next big game, Demon Souls, the expansion. No,
So-
it was the game Jang predicted, right?
Long ago.
What did you predict? You
I said Bloodborne 2, I think.
oh, you said something about Blue Point though. I
Oh no,
remember-
that's right. I said Blue Point would make a game. I said either Shadow of the Colossus 2
that's
or
right.
what else, dude? I forgot. But Demon Souls was on my. So when Shu came out and he said it's something near and dear to my heart, I thought it was Bloodborne HD, because Shu is a master Bloodborne player, and
Okay.
I was wrong. And then when I was watching it on my stream, it showed the sun. I was like, oh, it's too bright. It's not Bloodborne. I was like,
It's
okay,
too bright.
okay, and then I was like, okay, maybe it's Elden Ring. Maybe it's
The
Elden Ring.
game's not dark enough.
And then the music happened. I was like, oh, it's Dark Souls or
Yeah.
Demon Souls. I mean.
Demon Souls.
Which is
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, Demon Souls is like pretty much where it started, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the game that came out. I mean, I have it.
Demon
I
Souls.
have the original, and this
the-
this was too hard for people.
It's
and
crazy.
then
Demon Souls didn't
Dark
sell,
Souls came out.
Demon Souls didn't sell well when it first came out. It became a cult classic. That's how Dark Souls got made. People
Yeah.
loved it. Like even though it didn't sell well, they weren't supposed to make a Dark Souls, but they're like, oh shit, it's people kind of like it, so they just decided to make Dark Souls.
Stuck with it.
Which is crazy how that works. Like
But it's made
for
by
this,
Blue. It's made by Blue Point. It's not made by From, so it'll be interesting.
Have you guys played the original Demon?
No.
I have, yeah, I own it on PS3.
Do you guys find any interest in playing this one?
Yes.
I think I'll pick it up. Yeah, I don't think I'll beat it though. Just like
I
the
know
other
to
one.
my knowledge, It's very janky. It's their first time doing that kind of game, so it's very like not polished. So I feel like this remaster is gonna be polished.
Well, this is like a remake. It's not even like a remaster, right? So that
Well,
means
so
it's gonna
that's
be...
where I wanted
Yeah,
to.
remake.
I'm
Yeah.
curious is that like there are certain things that make the From Software game unique, like the feel of them. Like Jang, you've talked about it, where it's like Dark Souls 2 just doesn't feel, and like it. I think there's some concern. Like visually, it looks fantastic, but I think there's some concern of like smoothing out some of that jankiness. Do you think that there's a risk of like losing that feel, or what do you
I
think?
don't know. I think you can always
I think the
improve.
feel will be different in this one, but I don't know whether it's going to be a feel good for previous Dark Souls gamers, or if it's going to be something completely different.
I hope they switch it up like the way Resident Evil 2 did it, is because like you don't meet Mr. X until you beat the game once. So when I'm playing Resident Evil 2 and I see Mr. X on Leon's campaign, I'm like, holy he's not supposed to come out. Why is he here? Why is he here? Like I want them to like throw curveballs a little bit. Like Resident Evil Remaster, the remaster, the dogs don't break through the window right away. Like but they break through eventually. Like I want them to like do like the unexpected.
Oh, okay. So like Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah. I don't know what they did, but yeah.
No, I get what you mean. Yeah. No, that'd be cool. I think it would if they can strike a balance between like restoring what people love about the original on a PS5, like visual fidelity and everything, but also like throw in some curveballs to keep it fresh. I think that'd be cool. I agree. The next one is probably one of my top 3 favorite ones from the show. It was teased at Bethesda's thing last week.
I know which one.
This was the Arcane Studio one,
Yep.
Deathloop.
Yes.
And like, so what did you guys think of this one?
I don't know. I don't have anything on it. I don't really care for it. I think I'm not gonna play.
I think it's a clever concept. I don't know how the 2-player thing works, but like,
yeah, I'm curious how that's going to play.
it gave me BioShock vibes watching the gameplay. I was like, this is very.
Have you ever played a Dishonored game?
Mm-mm.
I have.
That like those games, like I agree, the BioShock comes to mind, but like I think if you like BioShock, Dishonored also feels very BioShock-like. You're constantly using both hands.
I just like the neck breaking and the headshots. I was like, this is really cool. Like,
What's the like that Brazilian or is it Brazilian that YouTuber that does like crazy ass like gameplays in like Far Cry, he's done it in the Dishonored games.
I do not know.
I forget his name. Isn't it like Brazilian something? I assume we're gonna see a bunch of gameplays of this guy playing this game probably.
That'd be
Doing
cool.
crazy stuff.
Yeah, like I love the tone of the game. Like it felt like the story had like a zest to it.
Do you think that the 2-player versus, is it like a multiplayer online thing, or what do you think that is like?
I think it's gonna be. I think you're gonna have like a single player mode, and then this is something I only am familiar with, but I don't know. But in Bloodborne, you can like go and like get challenged by people, right?
Yes.
So maybe this will have a mode where it's like you can leave it open, and when you start playing, someone could jump into that other character and like be like, "Oh, I want to fuck with this guy's like game, like session," and try to be the challenger. And like maybe there's incentives for being the challenger or being the main person, and like each will have their goal. Like one is to assassinate, one is to take out the targets. I think it'll be like something like that. But I'm definitely curious of how that'll play out.
And when you get shot, you start in the beginning of the level, right?
I think so. That's what it looked like. It's like you're reliving this, like where you have to take out all these targets, and then you have this assassin person coming after you. So I'm guessing it's going to be like it might have some, like the new Hitman we were talking about, how it's like there's many ways about going about the same scenario. that's something the Dishonored games have had done really well. Like if you look at like I think Vargas, what you were talking about with the Brazilian guy, I've seen Dishonored videos where people
Mhm.
like go pro level.
Yeah.
They'll like freeze. They have these like all these abilities like Bioshock. They freeze the game. They throw an arrow straight in the air. They do
Yep.
like 10 different things to all the guards, and then like he's killed all of them, and he's like, wait, what is he gonna do with the last one? And he unfreezes time, and the arrow just lands
It's
on the
like
last guy.
Yeah.
it's like those Breath of the Wild trick kills.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if like the high level stuff of this game will be like, okay, I'm gonna do 20 different things to be able to do this kill, like these 10 targets this time.
Yeah, and they've done it with like Far Cry 2, where it's like you shoot an arrow and then he kills everyone, and then the last guy is like, huh, and he turns around and like the arrow just like right on his head, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, so they do
But,
crazy
like-
shit like that.
Gameplay, the story, everything. I was hooked on this one. So curious.
I honestly kind of skipped this one when I was like looking at the
Nani?
Did it have you at B3 or did you just have no interest at either your time?
I had no interest. I mean, like when I saw it at B3, I was like, oh, interesting out of all these other ones, but
Yeah.
like, it still wasn't like the most
Okay.
interesting to me.
Okay. Next up was what I thought was going to be Bloodborne, but was Resident Evil Village.
8.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, 8. Yeah.
Resident Evil is really cool, but I stopped playing it at Resident Evil 2, so.
What the? Dude, 7 is so good.
Sorry, man. Just had to
Holy
leave me
shit.
alone.
Like I think 7 is like
What I want to know is how many times have they changed Chris Redfield?
oh yeah.
Like
Chris Redfield.
I don't know what it is. I think unpopular opinion really enjoyed the gameplay of 5. I know it's not like
Ugh.
I know it's not like a Resident Evil game. It's like the most un-Resident Evil like action. James
It doesn't
Cameron.
feel right.
No, yeah.
to me.
It's more to me that the reason I like it is the memories I have with
Oh
it.
no, my bad. 5 is good. I'm thinking about 6. 5 is okay.
Oh,
No,
6.
5 is
Yeah,
okay, dude. 5 is actually pretty good.
The reason I've been hearing like people saying it's not so good is how it like just tonally it was like, oh, you're just killing a bunch of like black zombies. Like there's been a lot of discourse about that side of it, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, I'm not so much tied to that, but as so much as I was in college, I spent like literally all night with my friend. We were playing 2-player co-op, and just we would try to get like
Dude,
infinite ammo rocket
The
launchers.
co-op is so fun in that game. It's so
Yeah.
fun.
But like Chris Redfield, like literally it punches boulders in that game, and then
I mean,
Isn't-
Wesker turned all crazy at the end.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Isn't he also at the end of 7?
Yes.
And he has like a different look, and then he shows up at the end of this one, and he's got like an even different look.
So I don't know the storyline between 7, but I heard it's a parallel universe. That's why Chris looks different. I'm not too deep into it because the Umbrella Corporation symbol's blue at the end of 7. So it's kind of weird when you
I
see it. You're like, what the fuck? And then you see Chris come out and what the fuck? Like No, dude, I think 8 is gonna be fucking good, dude. 7, goddamn, that shit, dude, it had one of the best jump scares I've ever experienced in my life, dude.
The lady.
So
Yeah,
I have a
yeah.
question. Did it come out? Did 7 come out, and then the remake of 2 and 3 came out?
Yes,
Is that the sequence?
yes.
So 8's coming out. I wonder if they're gonna do remakes of like other ones in between this one, and then do like another new one.
It's
Like
rumored that 4 is gonna get remade.
Hmm,
Rumored, the best one too.
interesting.
But I mean, I thought it was Silent Hill when I was watching it.
Oh,
And
yeah. I remember
I
seeing your
got
reaction.
it when when it showed the villagers. I was like, oh, it's Resident Evil. And then it showed the Umbrella Corporation symbol. I was like, okay, yeah, it's Resident Evil 8. Dude, that game's gonna be fucking scary, dude. Like the way they did 7 was fucking good, amazing.
Surprised a lot of people. Next up is, I think this is the one above Deathloop for me. Pragmata.
I don't remember.
Mm.
This is the astronaut with the girl
Mhm.
ghost.
I thought it was, to be honest, I thought it was a Kojima game when I first saw it.
So that's what everyone's been saying. The first thing, like, okay, so leading up to this event, I saw people like online developers teasing possibly. like, oh, looking forward to tomorrow. And one person that teased that was one of the main creators of Dead Space. And so when I was like, oh, I hope they make another Dead Space, or he makes a new game style. And when I saw some of like the suit, I thought it was like, oh, is he mixing Kojima with like his Dead Space stuff? I don't like. I was hooked on like whatever this is going for. Did you guys? Were you guys interested?
I'm interested in this one, but I just obviously like with what it showed, I'm not sure what to think of yet.
Okay.
Who made this game?
The guy here, I'm gonna look. He was one of the guys that worked on Dead Space.
Oh, okay.
It's
I
a Capcom game.
I have faith in it.
Yeah, it's a Capcom. Then they ended with the final game trailer, which was Horizon Forbidden West, the sequel to Zero Dawn.
That's what I'm gonna definitely pick up. The first game was really good. I don't know how if it somehow will go off of your previous game. That'd be pretty cool.
Did you ever play the expansion?
That's a good question. I don't think I have.
Jang, have you played?
I played a little bit of it. I
Yeah,
got
the
up
expansion
to
was right around when Breath of the Wild came out.
yeah,
Yeah.
bad timing. I got up to the first big dinosaur you had to fight, not the saber-tooth tiger, the one after that.
Okay.
There's like a big.
Well, I mean, I can tell you, I platinumed the original game. I don't think I played the expansion.
Yeah, I
Slight
platinumed
flex.
the first one.
It's one of like a handful of games I've platinumed.
Yeah, I'm interested too. I'm curious. It made me want to play the expansion just so I like fill in any gaps of story that I might have missed.
Mm-hmm.
So I might get back. It's cheap though, like to get them both together. Jang, didn't you get that?
Yeah, I bought it for like $10.
Nice.
So one day, which will never happen, you know.
Yeah, before or after God of War?
Yeah,
after
PS6.
Knights of the Old Republic, after KOTOR.
Yeah. And then finally, they're doing all these teases, and they showed the actual consoles.
It was so
And it was
And
a
so
it was
not only did they show the consoles,
I-
they showed two. So
I-
they showed the disc one, and they showed a discless
I think
which just has like a slit missing or whatever.
I think they took the idea from the Korean commercial Plush Speed.
one. Plus,
Piece of Plush Speed, dude.
dude, Vargas, if you haven't seen this commercial,
I've seen it.
it's fucking hilarious.
Because it's a router. I get it.
What do you guys think of the consoles?
It's a obviously I feel like it's going for a very futuristic look. I think ultimately I don't really care what the console looks like because it always just gets put away, and as long as my controller connects to it, it doesn't.
So if
I
it
won't
looked
look
like
at
an Xbox S or whatever the current one is, you wouldn't care. Just a box.
yeah, as long as it did what it needed to do.
What do you guys think of like them not like usually when they do a launch they just have one console and then later they add like, oh, now we're doing a digital one which is cheap. Like think of like the Switch Lite, they do a cheaper, more affordable option.
Yeah,
Them starting out the gate with both options. What do you think?
I think it's a smart move. Well, okay, it's a smart move depending on what their price points are supposed to be, but I think with like newer consoles, we know that it's gonna be a little more expensive, so I think it's a smart move.
Jay?
I'm just not a fan of digital only, but they
Yeah, I personally look at it.
they did what they did, so I mean,
Yeah, I'm interested to see like
dude, that thing is huge, dude. Have you seen the
Is
size
it?
comparison?
yeah, people have been like
Holy
based on what they showed
shit.
with compared to the controller, they used that and then scaled it next to other consoles. It's bigger than like all the other.
It's bigger than a Pro, dude. Holy shit.
So maybe it's disproportionate, hopefully, but we'll see. As long as it's quiet, that's my main thing.
I don't know. I have a thing with like first generation consoles, PlayStation. They've always had problems. Every single first generation.
You should get the digital only version, and then later on when they come out, you should get the physical disc one. Jang.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, first generation PlayStation consoles, every single generation has had a fucking problem.
See, but they've never had a first generation digital only, so I think you'll be fine with that one. I'm just saying.
It's the first white
It's
one.
your safest bet. Yeah, it's the safest bet for you, dude.
What? So are you guys based on what they showcased, based on the console, based on everything out of this, what's your status on PS5? You know, are you in? Are you out? Are you?
I was always in. I was always in.
Are you gonna go launch? Like, give me.
Yeah, I think I'm going with launch. I still don't think I'm getting an Xbox. I think it's PS4.
Because
5.
you already have it. That's the beauty of Xbox. They're like, you already
PC.
have it. It's on your computer. Jang, what about you?
My rule with consoles, I always buy consoles whenever there's a game I want. So,
So,
whenever
if they don't launch the game,
whenever Resident Evil 8 or Demon Souls comes out, I'll probably pick it up.
no, hold on. I think you're gonna pick it up at launch because
Fortnite.
and yeah, they said Fortnite's gonna be a launch game on PS5. When they showcased the Unreal Engine, they're like, Fortnite will be at launch.
All right, I'm in, dude. No, I'm not gonna pick it up.
Unreal.
I mean,
Engine
I
5.
could pick it up, but I don't know.
You can
don't
pick up
want
the
to.
digital version. I'm just saying.
I don't want to pick it up. If I were to pick it up, I would resell it. I'd be one of those damn resellers.
Dang. So there was a recent news thing that like happened with Cyberpunk. Did you guys see that?
Yes,
It got delayed 2
Yeah,
months.
delayed till November now.
it was because of Devolver, dude.
I
Is it
know.
over?
Devolver, they
Uh,
tweeted
they-
if they didn't get 2 million followers, they're gonna delay Cyberpunk. They said that shit last
Delay
year,
everything.
and look what happened. They reposted it.
That's hilarious. But so what I was getting at was they was originally gonna come out like September, October, and it would have been on this generation of console. Now that it's being pushed back, does this make you like? Were you guys gonna get Cyberpunk first of all?
I was.
You
Probably,
were Jang. You
probably
were-
not, because my backlog is too crazy.
Meanwhile, Resident Evil 8 backlog moves aside.
Hey, some things get bumped up.
Okay. You weren't good, but Vargas, you were. So now that it's being delayed, do you think this might make it a launch game for PS5?
I think it does. I'm not sure when PS5 is supposed to be released, but
Holiday.
it allows me to at least pick it up for just the PS5 rather than having it for PS4 and PS5.
Yeah, and they haven't said anything about backwards compatibility, which I think plays into whether people want disc or discless. Like if you have all these like PS4 hard discs.
I think they did say though that people that picked it up for PS4 would get it for PS5. Didn't they say that?
I don't know.
No, Xbox.
Oh,
I know Xbox for sure.
Smart delivery, all that stuff. Yeah, but I didn't know all the details yet of like how when and how that would work for PlayStation. So
I think it was just specifically announced for
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk. Yeah, they were saying that if you pick up the previous version, you get the next gen as well.
Okay. It was just an interesting thing where it's like a delay could work in the favor of that console, inadvertently.
Right.
Where you're like, I can just wait, like, or not have to wait. You don't have to be like, oh, I'm gonna get it right when it comes out. I can just wait, like, right when the console comes out, I'll get it. So we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. Overall, what did you guys think? Like I said,
Do we have?
Got all-
Are we gonna guess prices?
sure. What do you guys think the prices are gonna be?
I think it's what, like $600 for
Yeah,
You have insider information?
$5.99.
for the disc. Well, technically it's 500. That insider information was $4.99 for the disc drive version, and then it was like $350 or something like that, or 400 for the digital version. But I think it'll be about like what, $550 or something like that for the disc version, physical.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I could see them doing 500, but I definitely could see them going a little bit just because there's a lot of hardware in there.
Yeah, I mean they did show a lot of peripherals with it too, like.
Yeah, and who knows, like it could be like 500 for the base model, and then like if you want like the heavy duty hard drive, like the
That's true. Yeah.
because I imagine like especially if you're getting the digital one, even if you're getting the lower price point and they offer several different hard drive options, or I would hope they offer, because it looks like pretty enclosed. right now, one of the things I like about the PS4 is that you can swap the hard drives if you want on your own
Yeah.
pretty easily. If they could offer that, that'd be. But who knows?
I'm kind of curious on what the haptic drivers are or haptic feedback is on the
On
controller.
the controller? Yeah. I just hope the battery life on this controller is just
Yes, please.
it's like crap right now. But yeah, okay, that's my topic.
Nice.
Okay, my topic. I've been fucking deleting many comments about spoilers for The Last of Us. And these are probably coming from people that have never played the game. And they're already considering the game trash from the spoilers. How do you guys feel about does having learning about spoilers ruin like a certain TV show, movie / video game?
I think personally it does for me. Now it depends. Like, it ruins, I think, the overall feel. Like if I knew, something that would have happened in what's that show that's gonna be free this
Watchmen.
weekend?
HBO.
Watchmen. Yeah, on HBO. If I knew something about Watchmen before I'd watched it, I don't think I'd enjoy it as much as I would have, knowing nothing of it when I watched it. It doesn't mean that, like, specifically with Last of Us, that if I were to find out, because I don't know, like I'm pretty sure I've seen a spoiler, and this was like right off the bat when it first was a thing. I saw a spoiler and I was like, oh my fucking god, and then just like proceeded to just kind of ignore everything else after that. But it doesn't mean I'm going to not play the game, and I'm going to try and enjoy it, and hopefully it's not a true spoiler.
For me, it depends. I think, like, I look back at like whenever I'm really into like an upcoming film or something or game, and like for some reason, like growing up, I always was wanting to look up anything and everything I could find on Star Wars movies before they came out. Like before Episode 2 had come out, I was on those forums. People had like showed screenshots of like the set, like they took a photo of like behind the scenes.
Like
They are doing this like
NSYNC was almost in the movies.
NSYNC, yeah, I was on movie. Screenplay like leaks would come out, and I'd be like, "Oh my god," frothing at the mouth because I wanted to know them as much as I could. And it didn't hinder my experience. Like I went into the movie and I still had a good time because I felt like I was looking at behind the curtain. But like when you see when you see the behind the set of like a play or something,
Mm-hmm.
it's one thing. But when like the play actually starts, it feels like it just comes alive. So I feel like that was how, like, for Star Wars, that's how it was for me. But then when I look at something like you said, like with Watchmen or I don't know, like Game of Thrones or different stuff like that, where I'm like in Breaking Bad, where I'm invested in these stories, and I want it. Like the hook for me isn't so much just being in that world, but it's like knowing what's going to happen to these characters. I think if I find out some, resolution to what's happening, it kind of will distract me from like that journey, because like it's building an ambiance. Like you're getting wormed into feeling a certain way, and then bam, something happens and it catches you off guard, and you're like, oh shit, how are they gonna, like, I like that you're in the moment feeling.
Yeah.
But like, okay, so like another example for like you're talking about Last of Us, I think that shares that narrative kind of point of like you want to know you're invested in the story. But like I look at a game like Monster Hunter, and if I find out like a spoiler that Rog
Monster attacks
I'm
town.
just gonna... well, no, not like a narrative thing, but like the spoiler is like, oh, they're gonna release a new monster, or they're gonna re-release Rajang, or something like that. Like that doesn't spoil the game for me, knowing that they're coming. Like surprise might not be there, but like my experience is gonna be like my enjoyment is gonna come out of like that moment of playing it with friends, not so much whether or not they'll appear in any way. And I wonder if that's because one is tied to a mechanic and one is tied to like a narrative. But I don't know. Yeah, it does. Like stuff like that doesn't. It's yeah. If it's more like a sort of thing, I think I'm a little bit more like I don't want to know.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's weird because like there will be like shows where someone to try to get me hooked on something will show a clip from like the latest season. Like there was once where Katie was trying to get me to watch, enticing me to watch Boardwalk Empire,
Hmm.
and there was a clip from the end of the third season. It was this like crazy shootout, and I was like, "Whoa, this is so cool!"
Did
And
you finish watching it?
yeah,
Okay.
and like I took a break because I was like, I don't know, like this third season, and like I didn't have any context, and like the scene was so cool and it was really well done. But I was like, okay, I want to start watching the show, so I started, and I started going through it, and I got to that moment, and I had no idea like how they were gonna get to that moment. Like I guess it was far enough along where I stopped thinking about it when I started the show.
Hmm.
So then when I got to that moment, I had kind of forgotten the details of it, and like I could enjoy it for the first time. I just remember like having the feeling it gave me, and now I had context for that feeling.
Hmm.
So like, has there ever been a point where like a spoiler for something you weren't even interested enticed you into like trying something?
I think I have for like similar to things for like a TV show or something, but you know, if we're talking about like a story-driven like video game, like that's something that is gonna get ruined for me. You know, like it's something that's I don't want to know this spoiler or like what's gonna happen because I want to experience it for myself.
I mean, I saw a spoiler for Watchmen, like the identity of Dr. Manhattan. I was like, okay, I gotta watch it.
Mhm.
Like I was like, I don't want to see any more spoilers. That enticed me to fucking finish it. I was like, okay, fuck, I gotta watch this show, dude, because I know who Dr. Manhattan is now. Fuck, man.
So that was something that enticed you because you're worried it get spoiled more.
More shit. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
also that also happened with Game of Thrones when a certain character died. I don't want to say because, I mean, I guess people knew when Jon Snow died. I was like, okay, fuck, I gotta watch this show, man. Like, fuck. I was like, I can't know any more deaths. I need to watch this show. And so, I mean,
Some games, like I was watching Maximilian. Part of after we were talking about Evo, I had also just watched Maximilian Dude play the ending of the Aftermath campaign to Mortal Kombat.
Mhm.
And the Aftermath campaign was really cool because you're like the main character at that part was Shang Tsung, and I was like, what? Okay, this is different. This is interesting, and like knowing that of that part, I was really interested to see how that story was. So I don't know. Sometimes it's like you have a partial interest into something where you're interested but you don't care.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's like this weird middle ground where it's like I get it in my head. I'm like, okay, this one was okay to like have that happen.
I mean, like the ending to The Sopranos sucks, but it doesn't negate the fact. I know how it ends because it was fucking on TV everywhere, but it doesn't negate the fact that the fucking middle beginning is really good. And
I
I
still
know-
need to watch that.
I mean, I haven't finished it, but I know what happens at the end. It's a fucking good show, though. Like the beginning and middle is like it's worth the journey. Even I can argue
It
with Game
worked
of
that way
Thrones.
for
Game of Thrones has a really bad ending, but dude, the beginning and middle are really good of that show.
It does negate that fact for me though. It makes I don't even want to remember Game of Thrones anymore.
Okay, that one I feel like it has such a strong feeling, but like, okay,
The ending was so bad that like it didn't like everything they did didn't even fucking matter. So
okay.
that's why I wanna
What
bring
if
it back.
I feel like a good example could be, let's say, The Wire.
Mhm.
Hmm.
It's an ensemble kind of story, much like Game of Thrones, and it's it's like well regarded, but like let's say someone says something about one character's like,
I know
I-
which character.
well, I'm just saying, like I still think like I would still even if you know that spoiler,
That's true.
I would still recommend it because I feel like there's journey, like
Yes.
the enjoyment of it, like what Jang was saying, is there's a lot of moments within the journey that
Mhm.
are well worthwhile of experiencing, regardless of that one thing at the end, like that end
I
point.
agree.
And like what's interesting, like you always, I don't, do you guys hear this a lot with books? I always, like in movies or in various conversations, I'll hear people be like, "Oh, before I buy a book, I'll read the last page." or
Oh,
something.
dude, I have a friend
Yeah,
that
like-
does that shit, dude.
I don't understand that personally, but like I know some people do that, and it makes me think like, are those people okay with spoilers? Like for shows, like if you were
Yeah.
to like talk about a TV show or a movie, do they care?
I think it depends on the person. I mean, maybe they're reading into like, is it worth me reading this story? You know, like
maybe.
Is it
Or,
worth me
like-
putting the time into this?
Do you like? I want another the thing that comes to mind is like if I think of M Night Shyamalan, like the first thing I think of is like what's the twist,
Mhm.
and like
That's a spoiler in and of itself, you know. Knowing there's a
also,
twist
like-
already.
You watch,
Some
he's
of
gonna make a movie with no twist, just to fuck with.
well he did it was Avatar.
No, the twist is he created it.
The movie was the just the twist of the heart. No, but like I think some people go into movies knowing the fact that some movies have twists is a spoiler in of itself.
Right.
But like for him, it's a hallmark. It's like going into this movie, there will be one.
Hmm.
So does knowing what that twist is deter you or entice you?
Ooh.
be like-
I think it depends. Like, there's context to everything.
Right,
Again, like if we're talking about like I'm invested in Last of Us, so if I were to see a spoiler, I'm gonna be extremely disappointed, but still gonna play it, and I'm pretty sure my my enjoyment of that story will be less knowing if there's a spoiler, where if I can just enjoy it on my own, not knowing these spoilers, you know, figuring out from the beginning what's gonna happen throughout the story. Because this is how I've designed myself to think when it comes specifically to Last of Us. But there are TV shows where someone has been like, "Hey, you should watch, you know, Black Mirror. There's an episode where this, and this happens." I'm like, "Oh, that's pretty crazy!" Like, and it's watching the story unfold that's gonna give you like the, you know, like that feel for that show.
Yeah.
But it really depends on how you think of it from the get-go. You know, there's books where like someone tells me like, "Hey, read the story because it has this and this," you know, like Harry Potter is a wizard. Oh my god, like, you know, like you just end up reading the story anyways. But
Yeah.
then there's books where like I'm invested. I'm like, no, don't tell me what happens. Like, let me read into it. Like, you know, like that's what
Yeah.
happened with Game of Thrones. Like people with Game of Thrones books, people were like, don't tell me what happens. Let me fucking read. Let me take 2.5 years to read this book real quick. You know, like, let me finish it off.
Well, I think one of the ones that like you mentioned last was I think that frame of reference is when I talked about like Final Fantasy VII remake.
Hmm.
I was talking to you about like, okay, you know the original ending, and I'm telling you that it's not. It's going to be different, like, or
Right.
it's going to be different from whatever 7 originally was.
Hmm.
And I don't want to tell you how it's different, but I know that it's different, and I think that is incentivized you to try and like get to that point.
Right. Yep.
But that's like a frame of reference where you're like, I'm curious, like I want to see how they get to there.
But that again, like
It's different.
that's the way I come into it. Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
Like in the sense of like I thought I was playing a remake of a game, but no, I'm playing like a completely different game at this point, you know? And that's enticing me, like knowing like, oh shit, this is actually different from what the original was. But
Yeah.
I do want to play it to know what it is, what that difference is.
Right. It's yeah. Like really analyzing like what are those differences and what frame of references like trigger each person differently
Yeah.
is interesting.
Yeah, and everybody does have a little bit of difference because, like, you know, like Game of Thrones, someone will be okay with being told how it ends or finish out the story. It's for them to want to watch it, while other ones are like, no, don't tell me anything. I'm already in this story. Please just let me just figure it out on my own.
I just don't understand how people can judge a work just by one
Right. I think
story
I agree with that.
story.
Where
I
it's
think-
like,
I mean,
if
I gotta
you-
say I've done it
you were,
before.
like,
It's like
if
the
James-
death of Jon Snow. I using that I judged the show Game of Thrones. Like that doesn't make any sense. Like
One
Yeah.
thing, so knowing like a spoiler, and like most games.
you need context to understand some of that stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly. There's always context. It's just what happens. Just because, like, you know, someone dies in the story doesn't mean like, oh, you know, fuck this show or fuck this game or fuck whatever. There's gonna be context. There's gonna be it's a point that builds the character to be where they need to be to continue the story. You know.
I mean, here's another thing. There was a Game of Thrones death that I knew the death going in. It happened, and I was like, "Holy!" It caught me by surprise because I was like, "Holy shit!" I didn't think it was gonna happen. It was in the third episode of a fucking season. I was like, "Holy shit!" I did not expect it to happen now. Like, it's happening now. Like, so even though, like, yeah, you can know a spoiler, you just don't know how it's gonna happen. You know, like,
Yeah. Or like, you know, when you go to the back of a comic book and see a spoiler and stuff.
Oh, Walking Dead. Shit, dude. I fucking read a. I mean, it's not a spoiler anymore because Rick's fucking dead in the show. But I saw Rick without his arm. I was like, what the fuck? It was that thick ass Walking Dead compendium, and I was like flipping through it, and I saw Rick with one arm. I was like, what the fuck happened? And I was like, fuck. That never happened in the show, but
Maybe the movie. They're still doing movies, by the way.
they need to kill that show, man. It's done, dude.
Past.
Wait, did you finish the comic book?
I still haven't read that.
Oh
You
man, the
told me to read
ending
it.
is fucking good, dude. See. Okay, so I missed a lot in the fucking Walking Dead, but there were some key characters and how they end up. I'm like, that's a cool way to fucking end the fucking story. Bravo, dude. Bravo. And I didn't read the middle. Pretty much like I didn't read from like 90 to whatever it is to the end. And I'm like, damn. They ended it fucking well.
They made it like a bookend where it's like, regardless. If you
Oh
read
my
it,
god, they ended it fucking well. I can't believe he like pulled it off, dude. Oh my god. Like I'm just like judging it by the show. I'm like, how the fuck did he pull this shit off, dude?
Yeah. Well, that's. Is there any final thoughts on?
It's a really long recording.
It is. We're making up for some lost
Yeah,
time.
dude, it's like
Shit.
2 weeks, dude.
I mean, when you said you might be out for like a month, I was like, all right.
Yeah, you got time, dude.
Dude, when I was deep into it, I didn't know where the light, the end of the tunnel was. So.
You found it. It was with the DLC.
Exactly.
Where can people find you guys?
They can find me at the Philia365 on Instagram and the Philia everywhere else.
You can find me at Evo next month, getting bodied at the last bosses.
You can find me at Creature Prime. You can find us all at the weekly DLC. This is episode 175, and we hope you enjoyed. We'll hopefully be back for another episode next week. So stay tuned, and until next time, we'll
DLC.
You later.